Welcome to Guiseley AFC Radio. We're here at Nethermoor for this crucial last scheduled game of the season, but obviously from Guiseley's point of view, we're hoping to be back here in the week for the Skrill North playoffs. I'm Tim Richards and I'll be providing all the build-up for Guiseley's game this afternoon against Gloucester City. And alongside me this afternoon for the build-up is Tom Feaheny.
Hello.
And Tom, obviously a crucial game. How have your nerves been today? I know I've been really nervous before this build-up.
Well, yeah, I don't think you're the only one. Everyone here at Nethermoor, the anticipation, the build-up to this game, a crucial match. Guys, if they can get a win, get a point in the playoffs, but you know, if Gloucester were to get the win, then it's all about what Boston are doing, so the nerves really are jangling. Let's just hope we can get the job done here at Nethermoor.
And obviously, Tom, you followed them for this season alongside the team here. How are you feeling for the season? If everything goes away, how's this season gone for Guiseley so far?
I think you've got to say it's been a fantastic season, especially compared to the start where guys, of course, had gone on a bit of a losing run, had lost a few games, and then they turned it around, went on a fantastic unbeaten run. And, you know, it's such a difference this season that a game has importance, you know, to it, because last season, this time we lost to Hinckley, and it was a match where the momentum seemed to drift away, but today it's about keeping that momentum and getting the win.
Well, thanks for that, Tom. And in the build-up, we'll have some highlights from past games for you from the Guiseley AFC radio. But first here now, I'm going to hand over to Nik Keefe, who is going to chat with Dave Curry.
Absolutely, yeah, Tim. Thanks. Good afternoon, by the way. So, Dave, you're the academy manager. Big day for you today. Big day for the whole club, but something special for you guys in the academy too.
Yes, we've just invited along 24 of the new kids that we're going to sign for next season. So next season the academy will move to approximately about 50 kids, which is great. It's expanding rapidly, and these boys will hopefully be seen out in the pitch in Nethermoor in the near future.
Yes, you've had a couple of early success stories really with the lads that you've had through so far. Ben Whitfield, obviously the one that everyone knows about. Any caught your eye early on for next season, or is it just way too early to ask a question like that?
Yeah, it's a bit too early. But fingers crossed, we've got a few really good lads coming on, but they're young and hopefully we can progress them. But you never know really. Except football's funny like that. People could progress it. If you asked me in the first season if Ben Whitfield was going to go on and be training with Bournemouth's first team a year later, I would have been very, very surprised. But it can be done. We don't promise for every kid, but yeah, fingers crossed.
And just for the people who don't know much about the academy, tell us about the education side of it, because obviously that's a huge deal with what you're doing. That's an enormous part of it. Is the stuff outside of the immediate football that you do with the lads?
Yeah, no, that plays a massive part. Me being from a teaching background, it plays a huge role. The kids come and they attend school in the mornings. This next season they'll be attending either Benton Park School or Shipley College, and they study a BTEC level 3 course, which enables them to go on to attend university in the future. And our educational partners work closely with us, and the football is. For some of them, the football is the main thing they've came for. They want to progress as far as they can in football. Others, it might be the education with a little bit of football, but we like to think that we give them we can cover both bases really. So if they want to move into football, they get that chance. If not, they've always got education to fall back on.
You get a bit of stick over your shoulder from your secretary and your captain, I think here, but vice captain. I do apologise. It's Ben Walker, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
They're here. Obviously, all your lads are here for the game. Looking at the senior level, what are we expecting this afternoon? Have you been around the club long enough to get nervous on a day like this?
Oh yeah, I'm getting nervous already. No, but I think Danny Ellis might be a lot more nervous, and my sidekick, he's well, saying that, he probably more nervous yesterday when he's actually. Sometimes it's more nervous actually being at the side than it is actually playing. But no, it's a massive game for us if we can do something here. I'm quietly confident, but football's a funny game, as I said.
It is. Well, thanks for your time, Dave, and hopefully we'll see some more of your lads out here on the pitch with the first team over the next year or so as well. And good luck with the new intake.
Yeah, thanks very much, Nick. Cheers.
Cheers. Over to you, Tim.
Thanks there, Nick. That was a great chat there with Academy Guiseley Academy, Dave Curry, joined by Nik Keefe. And today Nik Keefe will be providing the matchday commentary. We're hoping alongside myself, Tom Feaheny. We're hoping to get Colin Robertson up here as well. So, but we will be providing full match commentary of today's game against Gloucester City. Speaking of Gloucester City, we've got some highlights for you from the last time Guiseley played Gloucester City. It was away at Gloucester, and it was a tough-fought battle early in the season, back in late August. And we'll just play some highlights for you now.
The Lions now have to defend this free kick. Hogg plays it into the area, headed away well. Only as far, though, as Coupe. Coupe plays it across, cut out well by Brooksby, and Brooksby now can help it forward, but plays a poor ball straight back to Coupe, the captain. Square to Harris. Harris is robbed, though, well by Rothery. Rothery goes forward. He's got Phil Marsh on the overlap on the right-hand side if he can play through. Rothery goes alone, and it's a good tackle there from Hogg. On him, takes it away, and then Hobson goes through, and it's back in the net. Potts came forward on the overlap. Guiseley had about 3 or 4 players who kept running. A great tackle from Hogg, had initially denied Rothery, but the ball still found its way in to the foot of Michael Potts. A good finish with the right boot, top right-hand corner, and it's Gloucester 0, Guiseley 1.
And that was a real triumph of battling and effort. They've refused to give up there. It looked like Gavin Rothery's momentum had been lost as he went to ground on the edge of the box. But bodies kept flying in, and eventually the ball's broken clear to Michael Potts. Excellent finish with Green wrong-footed, and that gives Guiseley exactly the start to the game they would have wanted.
Edge gets the ball back into play, up towards the edge of that area where Mullings and Wilson gets the ball on the edge of the area, goes down, shot taken from Edwards, but Edwards it was who took the little flick, and it's a penalty kick now to Gloucester City. The referee pointed to the spot. Wilson it was, he just ran across his man, and I think it was Ellis who got the touch on it. Yeah. Penalty kick, and Darren Edwards steps up with the penalty kick. He takes it with the right foot, bottom left-hand corner. And on 73 minutes, it's now Gloucester 1, Guiseley 1. 3.5 minutes of stoppage time gone. Gloucester and Guiseley locked at 1 each. And not sure how much more we've got to play, but Gloucester will have a free kick inside, deep inside their own half, that Green will take. And there's our answer. The referee blows his whistle. It's a point for the Lions. They took the lead on 18 minutes. Michael Potts was the man inside the area to finish neatly into the top right-hand corner. It was a lead that the Lions couldn't hold on to, and Gloucester came back very strongly in that second period and eventually got what they deserved. They got a penalty on 73, fair and square, a foul on Scott Wilson, and Darren Edwards finished it with aplomb into the bottom left-hand corner, and that's how it stayed. It's finished here. Gloucester City 1, Guiseley 1.
Well, highlights there from the last time Guiseley played their opponents for today, Gloucester City, and it was a 1-1 draw. And as we say, the opponents today are Gloucester City. And Tom, Gloucester, they're not going to be an easy, straightforward opponent, are they?
Well, definitely not. When you look at the form that Gloucester have had, maybe not in the last few games, but particularly when they got their new manager in at the start of the year, they've gone on a fantastic run. You know, they won 7 games out of 8, went on this magnificent run, and at a point they were bottom of the league. They looked like they were down, went on this great run, and you know what? They do well against the big teams. They've beaten pretty much all the big teams in this league, either home or away. So they'll definitely not be an easy side. They'll come here, they'll have a bit of freedom. Players are trying to earn a contract, so it'll definitely be not be an easy game. Let's just hope we can get the job done.
Definitely, and as we were speaking there in the build-up to some of the members of the Gloucester City media team, their main prize at the moment, as well as obviously winning football matches, is getting security for the club and getting that ground, because at the moment they're ground sharing with Cheltenham, so they're not at the home in Gloucester at the moment. So for them, I guess next season they're going to be looking forward to that, and they've stayed up this season, and they'll be looking forward to next season and possibly getting that ground. And how important will that be for them?
Yeah, you know, it'll be vital for them, because they're in a position where this ground, you know, obviously they're not playing at home at the moment, and of course it's no fault of their own with what happened a couple of years back. But for them at the moment, it's all just about staying in the Squirrel North, keeping that security, and then when they get their new ground, then they can have that additional funding, then they can move on and try and, you know, aim for maybe a bit higher up and trying to get promotion. But for now, they're more than happy to be in this league, and with the start of the season they had and where they were, they'll be more than happy to be on the last game of the season with nothing to play for.
And as we're talking about Gloucester City there, we've got the team news come through. So we'll go through first that Gloucester City lineup. In goal is Mike Green. Michael Green is the second man on the team sheet. So we'll be looking forward to differing those in the two names, Mike Green and Michael Green there. Billy Jones, Matt Coop, the captain, Jack Harris, Tom Webb, Lewis Hogg, Matt Groves, Adam Mann, Will Morford and Jake Gosling. And on the bench for the visitors is Marcus Giglio, Ed Williams, Nat Jarvis, Ruadri Winters, sorry, hope I pronounced that name right, and Matt Rose. So that completes the Gloucester City lineup. And Tom, obviously a big name there could be Jake Gosling, as he's been in good form recently and he's been teasing sides. Is there any other names there you fancy as well?
Well, I've got to say, when you look at that team, it is their strongest lineup. There were, one or two people saying, would Gloucester give maybe one or two of the younger kids a chance? They've put out a full team, full strength team from 1 to 11. That really is their best team. They've got a really good captain in Matt Coupe, someone who's an authority figure. He really does like to bark the orders out. And Gloucester, they're putting out a full team. They want to give credit to Boston United, who of course are needing Gloucester to get a win. So Gloucester are coming here, they're ready to fight, and they're going to give it their best shot.
And we'll go through the home side anyway. So Guiseley's lineup today looks like this. It's Stephen Drench in goal, Andy Holdsworth as skipper, Ben Parker, Danny Hall, Danny Ellis, Jake Lawler, Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel, Adam Boys, Ollie Johnson and Gavin Rothery. And on the bench for the Lions, Reece Maynell, Ryan Williams, Michael Potts, Kevin Holsgrove and Stephen Dickinson. So Tom, as we expected there, the big name missing is Alex Johnson, and it will be a you can't hide it. It will be a miss for Guiseley today, but it's still a strong lineup there.
Most definitely. You look at Alex Johnson. AJ had his tracksuit on when I came into the ground, and I asked, "Are you going to be playing today?" And he just said, "I'm not sure. I don't think so." And yes, he will be a miss, but it means that he's got a few more days rest before the playoffs if we can get there, fingers crossed. But it's a good chance as well for Ollie Johnson, because he came on last Saturday and he changed the game. He was such an influential player. He won man of the match. He was only on the pitch for about half an hour. He made such an impact according to the fans who selected him. So you know what, it's a good chance for him. Adam Boys, he keeps his goal scoring run going as well, and it really just looks like a strong Guiseley side. And it's good to see Kevin Holsgrove as well back on the bench.
Well, I'm sure they will all be really up for this game today. And with around 7 minutes to go until kickoff, we've just got the highlights from the Monday's game. It was at Workington, so we'll just play these now.
Cross now from Workington as they take this throw to the right-hand side. It's good progression from O'Connor down that right flank. Cuts past Ollie Johnson in towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Gets it in there, and it's a goal. It's a goal. Abadaki has scored for the home side. A crossfield ball that found the fullback O'Connor. He got a good ball in there. Fell kindly for Godwin Abadaki. He struck it with the inside of the foot. Took a deflection, and after 51 minutes... well, it's now Workington 1, Guiseley 0. Now Ollie Johnson gets a bit of space, tries to cut this one through, gets it back off the deflection of the defender, gives it to Boys. Boys free in the area. If he can beat the goalkeeper, he can! Yes. And the Lions are level. Alan Boys, after a kind deflection, fell for Ollie Johnson. He fed the ball through to Boys. Boys had pulled off his marker and then just lofted the ball over the goalkeeper underneath the crossbar. And it's Guiseley back on level terms. Workington 1, Guiseley 1. The ball sent forward one last time perhaps for the Lions. Adam Boys can't get it, the header. Guiseley just can't get the ball into the Workington half. A long one forward from Lawler. Nobody up there to get on the end of it. Boschel steps across and wins the ball well in the centre circle. Reece Maynell sends it forward. It's a tough one for Boys to get on the end of this one. Goalkeeper Jameson has been swiftly off his line every time, and the referee blows the whistle. Definitely not the result we were looking for. It could have been worse as well. Guiseley went behind when Godwin Abadaki scored on 51 minutes. Adam Boys got free 7 minutes later. lofted the ball over the goalkeeper and under the crossbar to make it one each. But after that, Steve Dickinson called into a couple of really good saves to deny the home side, and right at the death, perhaps Jonathan Murray might have won it for Workington when he was free in the area, but his shot came back off the upright when Steve Dickinson was well beaten. But the Lions have got the point. Boston United, however, have got all three. That means Boston have brought it down to 3 points. So guys, you need to avoid defeat in the last home game of the season. Simple as that, because if Boston do make the 3 points up on us, they've got a better goal difference, and it will be they and not Guiseley that make it into the playoffs. So it's not done and dusted. Far from it. It's finished here. Workington 1, Guiseley 1.
Well, though the highlights from the game on Monday against Workington finished Workington 1, Guiseley 1. But Tom, there was a sense of disappointment there, possibly, that it wasn't all 3 points. But how important could that point be in today's final game?
You know, it could be vital. I think when you look at that match, you're facing the team bottom of the league, you'd expect Guiseley to go there and get the win, but Workington put in such a good shift. They're not a bad team, Workington, and they had players there who were again trying to earn a contract. They gave it their all, and in the end they were unlucky not to get the win because they hit the post late on. But I think when you look at Guiseley, that point, it kept the momentum going as well. If they'd have lost to Workington, I think this time last year we lost to Hinckley 4-2, and it just seemed a lot of the momentum was up to, although it was the reserve side that went out, the momentum went away, and it's just so important to keep the momentum going. And for Guiseley today, keep that momentum going, get a win, get a point, and get into them playoffs.
Well, thanks, Tom, and we'll be hearing from you at half-time and in the second half, so brilliant build-up. And for now, as the teams come out of the tunnel, it's time to hand over to the matchday commentator of Nik Keefe.
Thank you, Tim. Good grief, eh? We're feeling the nerves up here. Welcome. If you just joined us, you are listening to Guiseley AFC Radio, and do tweet us your thoughts, your nerves, your reaction as the game goes on this afternoon. Two teams are just coming out onto the pitch. Guiseley in their home kit of white shirts and navy blue socks and shorts, and Gloucester City also in their home kit today. They're in the yellow and black stripes and the black socks and the black shorts. Beautiful day now. It's cleared up. It was a bit of a murky, foggy start to the day, but the sun's come out in time for the game. The pitch looks immaculate. There's a good atmosphere in the ground. Perfect conditions for playing football. And as I sit here in the main stand on the last day of the regular league season, and I think all the way back to where the season started, and the home game, the 3-0 defeat to Solihull Moors on the first day of the season, that of course was our first broadcast. It does seem like an awfully long time ago, and after where we got to in October, it does seem astonishing to say that today a point for Guiseley would be enough to secure one of the most remarkable turnarounds in probably Conference North history, having gone from the relegation places in early winter to find themselves on the verge of a possible playoff position now in April. And the boys are just warming up. I'll go through the teams quickly. Stephen Drench is in goal, the captain, the ever-present Andy Holdsworth at right back. Today the left back is Ben Parker, preferred over Reece Maynell, returning to fitness. The two centre-backs are Danny Ellis and Danny Hall, wearing numbers 4 and 5 according to the team sheet today. And Jake Lawler plays in number 6, alongside Danny Boschel as the two deep-lying defensive midfielders. And then we've got the traditional 3 and 1, and the 3 looks like it will be Wayne Brooksby on the right, Gavin Rothery on the left, and Ollie Johnson just in behind the lone striker, the red-hot man, Adam Boyes, who has hit form just at the right time of the season for the Lions, as all the other strikers have been struggling for fitness and form. Adam Boyes has been on great form and has been banging them in for Guiseley and been a big part of keeping this run going. The officials and the captains are in the centre circle, about to toss the coin, shaking hands. And it looks like it will be the traditional first half. Guiseley shooting towards the railway end. And with Gloucester City, they're in a huddle at the moment as the home team warm up and make their final preparations. One or two things on the pitch. Looks like the goalkeeper's left himself out. An enormous towel and, I don't know, a couple of water bottles there or something. There you go, not too interesting. The game we certainly hope will be as we get ready to kick off here at Nethermoor. The final game of the Skrill North Conference season starts Well, any second now. And there it is. We're underway. Hey, it wouldn't be Guiseley AFC radio if it wasn't a little bit shabby, if it wasn't a little bit ragged around the edges. And Guiseley start with the ball, having taken the kick-off, and it's just bobbling around in midfield. Both teams trying to get it under control and start their first move of the game. And it is Gloucester who bring it away with the right back, Michael Green. He's approaching the Guiseley area, knocks it down into the channel. Easy for Danny Hall to cut out at the expense of a throw-in. And Guiseley have some defeat from the kick-off. The throw will come in from Green in just a moment. As players are jockeying for position on the edge of the area, and the throw is taken, and it's back to Green. Tries to knock it long again. Gavin Rothery's in there, tidying up, looking for scraps, and in the end, he's knocked it out of play. And Gloucester have another throw in. Just feeling each other out in the early moments. Guiseley camped all the way back inside their own half. Nobody forward. Ollie Johnson, though, as Gavin Rothery intercepts it, picks it up and knocks it down into a channel just to relieve the pressure. No aim on the pass, just to give Guiseley a chance to push out from the back. And it's with the goalkeeper, Mike Green. We've got a Mike Green and a Michael Green in the defence for Gloucester City today, so that's probably going to get confusing. Presumably Michael Green is just Michael Green because they couldn't have two Mike Greens in the team, Tim.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Well, thanks for welcoming me to the game here. Yeah, it's going to be a confusing one, that I'm sure. And I think a big thing about today will be just making sure the nerves, as I'm feeling nerves aren't there for either side, for Guiseley's game, and just hoping to settle it down. And
Gloucester are moving it around well on the right again with Michael Green and Lewis Hogg, and they've managed to force a corner, first of the game. It's in front of the Gloucester City fans down at the Otley Road end of the ground, and it'll be the number 3, Billy Jones, to take it with his left foot. It'll be an in-swinging corner. And again, everybody, this time every Guiseley player, bar Ollie Johnson, is within their own penalty area. Keen not to make any early mistakes. As the corner comes in, it's Gavin Rothery gets ahead to it, to Ollie Johnson, plays it back to Rothery, but they're not quite on the same wavelength. It's untidy on the edge of the area, shouts for a handball, but it's at the feet of Adam Mann. Adam Mann goes down under the challenge from Danny Ellis, and the free kick is given by the referee, Ian Turner. And there's a dangerous set piece on the edge of the Guiseley area now, Tim.
Yeah, it's in a really dangerous position. A bit of a soft one there for me. I thought Ellis went in, and he possibly did trip him up there, but nothing too bad there from Danny Ellis. But yeah, it is a really dangerous position, and for Guiseley, they'll really need to be on their toes, and Drench is going to have to make sure that wall is really organised and set clear.
2 Gloucester City players around the ball. It's on the edge of the D, almost central, difficult to get around the wall. There's 6 men in the Guiseley wall, and then Andy Holdsworth just to the side of it. Here's Jones to take it, curls it with his left foot. It's gone all the way past the wall into the bottom corner, beyond the reach of Stephen Drench. And after just 3 minutes of this game, Guiseley haven't managed to get going. And the nightmare scenario is they've conceded the early goal. It's Guiseley 0, Gloucester City 1.
Yeah, it was a beautifully struck free kick, you have to say. He killed it round the wall into the bottom corner there. Billy Jones it was. A fantastic goal, but what a terrible start for Guiseley. From a set piece to concede. But you have to say it was a great strike right into the corner. So a blow for Guiseley early on, and they'll have to try and respond to this now.
Well, that is not the start we were hoping for. Everything seemed set as we came into the ground. Glorious day for football, but the Guiseley side have looked nervous, camped in their own half, deep in their own half early on, but now Ollie Johns has a chance to turn with the ball at his feet, running at players. He beats 2 and then stops, knocks it out wide right to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby to get the crossing, but it's charged down well by the goal scorer, Billy Jones. And Guiseley have a throw, and it's thrown into Ollie Johnson, who lays it off to Andy Holdsworth, making a break into the area. He's brought down, no penalty given. Ball pinging around in the area. Danger of an own goal there, but Gloucester City bring it away. And it's with Jake Gosling on the halfway line for City, into Mann, looking long for Morford, but it was a terrible ball all the way through to Stephen Drench. And Tim, Guiseley have got to regroup now. They know they're not going to have the afternoon that they were hoping for. They're going to have to really work for this.
No, that's the game plan out the window, but what a way to respond is get straight up the other end, get in the penalty area and get a shot away.
Mann trying to get free, he's in behind Danny Hall, takes the shot. Fortunately, it's straight at the keeper, Drench. But with Guiseley pushing forward and not yet finding any rhythm to their play, it was too easy for Adam Mann to be threaded in behind the Lions' backline. Drench takes the ball long, looking for Boys, who can't win it, and it's coming down in midfield. Neither team able to get it under control yet. Referee says that was a high foot by Danny Boschel on number 10 Morford.
But what he hasn't spotted there was the offside flag was up, so he needs to give the offside. I think he has given it now. That's better refereeing, as he saw it late on. But
good spot, Tim. Good spot. It was the linesman's behind the laptop lid here, so I would have never seen that. We have the free kick in the centre circle. It's looking for Boys in the area. Has it at his feet? Snapshot. Just bobbles it wide of the near post. He had more time than I think he realised, and he snatched at that a little bit as the ball was dropping down from his first touch. Well, first shot of the game for Guiseley. Not testing the keeper Green, who's helpfully wearing green, so that we can distinguish him from the right back Green.
Brilliant. Thanks for that link, Nick. But yeah, that was a great ball over the top towards Adam Boys. He took it down nicely, got the shot away, but it was just wide. It was good build-up play from Guiseley though, and it's looking like they're looking to respond here and get that equaliser early on,
and
which they need to do.
It was a firm kick by Green, and Guiseley have repelled it for now, but the left-footed keeper Green has had to come sweeping out of his area and clear it with his right foot there as Guiseley tried to get a long ball in on the break. It means Guiseley have a throw in just inside their own half. Ben Parker to take. He's drying the ball with his shirt and preparing to take this. Gavin Rothery's in space, but Parker's going to look long to Ollie Johnson. Johnson's first touch was just a little bit heavy and couldn't bring it under control. And again, the ball goes long looking for Morford. Gloucester City controlling the midfield at the moment. And they have the ball in possession, moving it around with a little bit of confidence. It's Lewis Hogg. He's challenged. Hogg didn't have anywhere near as long on the ball as he thought he did, and he was challenged by Boys, and it's brought a position where Wayne Brooksby is running towards the edge of the area, but he's going across goal. He's had to put it out wide to Gavin Rothery on the left, plays it with his right to Jake Lawler, who lays it off to Brooksby, and then it goes all the way across the right from Brooksby to Andy Holdsworth, making space. Cross coming in from deep. Green gets two hands to it. Good take by the keeper, with Ollie Johnson ready to collect anything that dropped down. And that relieves the pressure for Gloucester City.
Well, there's intensity in Guiseley's play at the moment. That was fantastic from Brooksby. Played a nice little 1-2, got it out towards Holdsworth, but his cross was a bit too deep for Guiseley's liking. But again, it's good to see this intensity and a good response to going a goal behind, to looking forward to getting that equaliser.
Altrincham have gone 1-0 up away at Histon, so their afternoon is going according to plan as they hunt down third place in the Skrill North. The game just stops for a moment. Draw breath. Stephen Drench is a long way out of his area to take a free kick in front of the Guiseley dugout, and he's going to be launching it long and across the pitch, looking for Jake Lawler or Adam Boys to the left. But neither of them manages to get ahead to the ball, and Gloucester City come away with it again. Mann running at Danny Hall as he has been so far and threatening to get the better of him, but they ran out of pitch there and it just rolled out of Guiseley's left touchline. Danny Hall just about doing enough to hold Mann off that time, but Mann has looked very lively with his running so far.
Yeah, he really has, and Hall did well there to shepherd him off and win the throw-in. But as we say, Mann has looked really lively early on coming forward, and he'll be a danger man. Another danger man as well with Jake Goslin for Gloucester. He's in apparently really good form. We spoke to some of the Gloucester FC, some of the Gloucester City media team before, so he'll be one to look out for. But for Guiseley, yeah, we just need to push on now and keep this intensity as they're trying to come forward and to seek for this equaliser.
Yeah, but once again it's Gloucester City who are coming forward dangerously, and despite an intervention by a Guiseley defender, Gloucester City were putting the pressure on, but now there's an opportunity for Guiseley to break, and the game is all a bit end-to-end at the moment. This time it's Wayne Brooksby, can't quite get it under control, and in the end he's harried, and it's returned to the Gloucester backline, but their passing is not quite accurate at the moment. Both teams battling, neither team getting any time on the ball in midfield at the moment. This time it's Jake Lawler getting a foot in, but his pass to Danny Boschel is cut out. It's all a little bit scrappy and it's a little bit nervous, exactly as you'd expect it to be. Gloucester playing with some freedom, and this time it's Mann who's turned his man, got him behind, looking to make a cross with his left foot into the area. It's repelled. Danny Boschel and Wayne Brooksby even is back there. The clearance from Danny Hall, straight out of play. He had a bit more time, I think, than he realised there. Guys are doing nothing to alleviate the pressure on their own defence. They've not managed to get a hold of it in midfield yet. And at the moment, the freedom that Gloucester City are playing with, knowing that they're just here for fun and for pride, looks in stark contrast to the nervousness of the home team. Gavin Rothery, a long clearance, looped. Adam Boyes is under it, but he can't beat Jack Harris in the air, and so Gloucester City again have the ball. It's bobbling around, no one can get a foot on it from a Guiseley perspective, and in the end Adam Mann is tricking and jinking around. He's brought down by Danny Hall. I think the referee's going to have a word with the Guiseley defender. May even go into the book for that, but it came because there were plenty of Guiseley men in there, and just the lively number 9 man, and he's just done enough to send a player the wrong way and leave a leg out and get himself fouled. And it's a torrid start for the home team, and the home fans are very quiet so far, Tim. Yeah, they are, and what's Danny Hall doing there? He doesn't need to concede a free kick in that kind of area when you've just conceded a goal from a free kick. It's another dangerous position, not as dangerous as the one before, a bit further out this time to the left, but still it's looking a bit worrying at the moment, and Guiseley just need to get rid of these nerves and just deal with these pressure situations, and then hopefully calm it down and play their own game that we know they're used to playing recently. All of this time they've been lining up for this free kick. There's 4 men this time in the Guiseley wall. Billy Jones is lining it up again with his left foot. He leaves it. It's curled in with the right, looking to beat Stephen Drench, who palms it away at the back post, turns it around. But another excellent free kick that time. I think it was Lewis Hogg who took it, and it's a Gloucester corner. Guiseley under all sorts of pressure in the early going. Just to say that in the interim there, Danny Hall did get booked for that challenge, so he's on a yellow card for the rest of the game now. Just to add to the early woes in this game, and there's a great turnout and it's beautiful weather in here, but nothing else is going Guiseley's way so far. The corner comes in, headed away. Holdsworth and Ellis were both underneath it, challenged each other. Ellis recovers for the second phase to head it away again, but it's only as far as a yellow and black shirted player. Billy Jones on the right tries to curl across over with his left, well caught by Stephen Drench at the top of his reach, and he's turned it over quickly, rolling it along looking for Ollie Johnson, but it was cut out. Wayne Brooksby heads it down into the path of Adam Boyes, and Guiseley have the chance to do something now on the attack. It's Andy Holdsworth on the right into Gloucester territory, threads it out to Ollie Johnson with his back to goal, plays it back to Holdsworth in field to Danny Boschel, who's harried off the ball by Mann, tracking back well, full of energy, the Gloucester striker causing all the problems so far. And to contrast our afternoon, Altrincham are already 2-0 up at Histon. They're having the perfect start in their game. Of course, they already know they're in the playoffs, but they're playing for position and for home advantage, hoping to encroach on North Ferriby up in second place. They could finish even on points this afternoon if Ferriby were to be defeated in their game. Of course, what we're interested in is what's happening at Nethermoor, and suddenly looking at the cricket being played across there, I'm having flashbacks to Solihull on the first day of the season. It's just not going right so far, Tim. It isn't, but just a word there for Stephen Drench. What a save from that free kick. He might have seen it late through a wall, had to get low down previous to the free kick where they conceded just then. It was a fantastic save to tip it away, and then just as well for the cross that came in afterwards to come and pluck that out of the air. He's just showing some of the getting rid of some of the nerves that is in that Guiseley defence at the moment. So hopefully, if that can spread up the team from Stephen Drench, that could kind of calm this down a bit for Guiseley, and just settle these nerves that definitely are there at the moment. And maybe this break in play as well could help as they're getting some drinks in. Help just calm it down for Guiseley, and Mark will be able to have a word with the lads here and just settle things down, and hopefully for Guiseley just get this quality back in this playing performance. Damien Reeves has scored a third for Altrincham, so that result is already pretty much in the books there at Histon, as Andy Holdsworth takes a long free kick to the edge of the Gloucester box. It's headed by Danny Hall, but it's easy for the keeper Green to collect at his back post, high above his head with two hands. But as his clearance is made, it's intercepted by Gavin Rothery, who finds Wayne Brooksby on the right flank, hugging the touchline, in field to Rothery. Nobody really on the left for Guiseley at the moment, and they're struggling a bit for shape. A poor pass by Danny Boschel, an uncharacteristically thoughtless pass. Almost gave Gloucester a chance to get in, and instead all they've done is surrender the possession. Adam Mann getting in behind Andy Holdsworth, running onto the ball, hugging the left touchline again, but he has not been able to keep it in play. And Holdsworth takes the throw straight back to his keeper, Drench. And Drench is just asking his players to move up the pitch before he clears it. And when he does, it's Long looking for Boys, who does win the header. Down to Jake Lawler, across to Brooksby, to Holdsworth. Hooked forward, Long, not to anyone in particular. Boys is on the edge of the area trying to get onto it, though. Danny Boschel leaves it for Jake Lawler. Jake Lawler is fouled as he's striding forward. And it's Guiseley's turn to have a free kick. It's about 10 yards from the edge of the area, very, very slightly right of central. Not a huge amount of angle for presumably Wayne Brooksby to work with here. And Gloucester City are preparing an early substitution. It's Lewis Hogg who's coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Marcus Giglio.
Yeah, he's limping off there. He doesn't look comfortable at all there, Hogg. And he's looked lively, so that's not the worst thing for a Guiseley perspective, to see him limping off early on. But this free kick now, what a chance for Guiseley to test the keeper. Wayne Brooksby standing over it and hopefully get it over the wall and just get a nice shot on goal and test Green in goal.
16 minutes gone, and it is Wayne Brooksby, the sole Guiseley player, stood around the ball lining this up. As the substitute comes on, the referee's telling Brooksby to wait until Giglio, wearing the number 12 shirt, has joined the Gloucester wall. And Brooksby's having a look at the wall again now. Runs up to the ball, plays it over the wall, looking towards Ollie Johnson. It was about 6 or 8 inches above Johnson's head. It was a nice idea. It would have been placed perfectly for him to head it across the keeper, but unfortunately it's a little bit too high for the Guiseley man. I think Jake Lawler might have stood a chance of getting onto that, but I'm afraid not Ollie Johnson.
No, it took me by surprise there, Nick. I thought he was going to test the keeper, but yeah, it was a nice idea to get the cross in towards the back post. Ollie Johnson just couldn't get enough on that one. But again, good to see Guiseley pushing on and hoping to get this equaliser.
Guiseley have played it long. Boys is chasing it down. He's got 2 Gloucester men. Now has the support of Ollie Johnson, who manages to force the defender into conceding a throw-in. The throw-in will be taken by Ben Parker to Johnson. Johnson chests it down and then heads it, turning at the same time. But he can't quite get it away from the path of the new man. And it's been knocked all the way through to Stephen Drench, who's outside of his area, preparing a pass. And he plays it long, looking for Adam Boyes. Headed away by the Gloucester defence. There's a flag up for offside against Adam Mann. That gives Guiseley a chance to start again, almost on the halfway line.
Well, Guiseley are really keeping a high line here, so they're obviously wanting to push on straight from defence, and they've been getting a lot of offsides here, Gloucester, so it's good to see Guiseley from the back keeping his high line, and very organised as well to see so many offsides come in, and they know that they're leaving Adam Mann, who's looked dangerous, in an offside position.
Drench has come up all the way to the halfway line to take this free kick, allowing Danny Ellis to join the group on the edge of the area, and it's gone across to Ellis. It just had a little bit too much on for the centre-back. He got his head to it, but unfortunately he could only loop it almost straight up in the air, loses it for a throw-in. Colwyn Bay 1-0 up in their game away to Leamington. And North Ferriby United have just in the last minute scored. Danny Clark with the header for them. They're 1-0 up in their game, so it's looking as you were, 1-0. And with Telford currently at 0-0, everything still to play for, and there's a second substitution being made for Gloucester City here. In their own way, they're not having a perfect start to the afternoon because they've seen 2 players go off injured already. This time it's Will Morford who leaves the pitch, and he's going to be replaced by Nat Jarvis. Thank you, Colin. You've probably heard that at home. We're all squeezed in on the bench today here. We thought because it might be the last day of the season, we'd get everybody involved. So there's 4 of us crammed into our bench here. You can probably hear the nerves jangling and a little bit of shallow breathing and high heart rates Although it's turning into despondence as the first half goes on. Oxford City are 1-0 up against Bradford Park Avenue as we reach 20 minutes of this game, which has been a little bit stop and start with the substitutions that have been made. And it's in the Gloucester City half, but too crowded for Guiseley to do anything with it. Andy Holdsworth has it on the halfway line, moves it long, looking for Adam Boyes, struggles to bring it under control into the path of Gavin Rothery, who can't help but concede a throw-in. And I certainly hope when I hand over to Colin in a couple of minutes' time that we see a change in fortunes. I don't think I've always had the luckiest games this season. I remember I made my commentary debut in the 4-1 defeat away to Altrincham. And Guiseley have been a lot better since then, but not today. And at the moment it's Mann trying to put Ellis under pressure, who has to play it back to Drench. 1-2 with Ellis. He then plays it forward to Danny Hall. Some confident passing for the first time in the game, really, from Guiseley, but it's inside their own half, on the edge of their own area. A foul on Wayne Brooksby, but the referee waves advantage. Ollie Johnson has a chance to turn and run at the defence. He's got Boyes ahead of him, but he's got it caught under his feet again. Easy to tackle. And Ollie Johnson just doesn't look like he's quite up to pace so far today. Such a skillful player who always has so much time on the ball, but not being able to really make an impact on the game so far. I think by choice he'd be a substitute rather than a starter with his fitness levels the way they are. And he's just struggling to get into the game as the ball's high up in the air. Adam Boyes loses the flight of it against the sun. And so it's bobbling around in midfield once again. A knockdown by Danny Boschel finds Gavin Rothery. A good ball forward to Ollie Johnson on the edge of the area. Turns inside, loses his man into the box. Shoots, tests the keeper Green. An excellent parry from the keeper. Bobbling around in the area still. Just now a Gloucester City player clears it. Fantastic move that by Guiseley. Excellent work in the area. Ollie Johnson, after what I just said, showing his class, showing the time he has on the ball, going for the opposite top corner. Testing the keeper, and a one-handed save from Green was what it took to keep the Guiseley player out of the goals.
Yeah, good effort, and it's great to hear the crowd around us lifting up the side as well. That's really lifted them up. You can hear the clapping below us, and that'll really encourage the players as well.
Telford have gone 1-0 up in their game. And Guiseley have the ball on the edge of the area. It's Adam Boyes, snap shot on his left foot. He had options to pass there, but he didn't choose them. And it's repelled well by Gloucester. A header from Danny Ellis goes into the path of Adam Mann, who's still looking dangerous every time he's on the ball. Guiseley have looked a little bit more solid in the last few minutes, but that threat still remains, that as they push forward, Gloucester City can come at them on the break. As a cross comes in from Gosling, it's high and wide and aimless. I'll just tell you that Hensford have gone 1-0 up at home to Barrow. Oh, it's 1-0 to Barrow, apparently, Colin's telling me.
1-0 Barrow.
1-0. Well, we'll work on the interpretation of the... Colin seems keen to talk, so why don't we just pass over now? He's obviously wants to be involved. So for the rest of the first half, I'll leave you in the very, very capable tweet-reading hands of my very close friend, Colin Robertson.
Thanks, Nick. I'll get off from sitting on your knee in a minute. But a little break in play. Ball with Stephen Drench at the moment. Guiseley still trailing by that 0-0. The ball sent long but repelled by Gloucester. Sent down the right flank for substitute Nat Jarvis to chase. Hall, who's on a yellow card, gets there ahead of him. Clears the ball upfield. Headed back. Danny Ellis has to intercept. Sort of a swarm of Gloucester players come forward each time they get into the Guiseley half. It feels sometimes they're on the ball now again with Giglio. He sends the ball forward, but beyond any Gloucester City player and all the way through to Stephen Drench. And I have to say, I've had all I could do to stay quiet in that first 20 minutes or so. It's been nerve-wracking stuff. Guiseley on the ball now. Had a couple of good chances here, early doors, but still trailed by that early goal. Gavin Rothery on the left flank, sends it infield to Jake Lawler. Now to Ollie Johnson. That marvellous chance a few moments ago, great save from the goalkeeper Green. Rothery now, 30 yards from goal, plays a lovely ball in towards Ollie Johnson. He gets it on the edge of the D, plays it into Boyes. Boyes takes a shot straight at the goalkeeper. Mike Green, easy task in the end, but lovely interplay between Rothery, Ollie Johnson and Adam Boyes, but the finish didn't match the build-up.
Fantastic build-up play there, and as you say, the shot wasn't quite there, but it's really good to see on the edge of the box there. Rothery linking well, making the play happen. Lovely little layoff by Ollie Johnson, and hopefully now that will just push on Guiseley and get them this equaliser.
Guiseley now with a throw, about level with the edge of the 18-yard box now on the right-hand side. The ball out to Brooksby, floats it in towards the 6-yard box, plucked out of the air by Mike Green. 4-0 to Altrincham now in their game, and Ferriby of course leading. Now Gloucester come forward once again, a little threaded ball through to Jake Gosling. It took an impressive tackle to take it away from him just as he looked to pick up the ball on the edge of the D, and it's out for a throw on that right hand side for Gloucester City.
Yeah, really perfectly timed tackle there from Danny Ellis. He slid in perfectly to get the ball away, and you just need that experienced head there from Danny Ellis just to get the ball away.
The ball comes in up towards the edge of the 6-yard box, held by Stephen Drench. He's bundled over. For a minute we had a moment because it fell to a Gloucester man, but a minute of panic as if the referee might not give it, but he did blow. Free kick to Guiseley inside their own 6-yard box.
Yeah, I couldn't hear the whistle there through my headphones, so that was a bit of a worry there as you saw the ball come loose a yard away from the goal. But the free kick was given. It was a foul on Stephen Drench there clearly. So again, though, the ball's coming into the Guiseley area as well, so it'll be interesting to see if Guiseley can keep up this strong defensive performance they've had since going a goal behind.
Gavin Rothery battling well to win the ball back from Michael Green, the right back. Sends it out to Boyes. Boyes plays it in towards Ollie Johnson. Ollie Johnson's offside. Groans up here in the box because we're not convinced he was. Taken quickly by Gloucester. Sent forward by Matt Groves. Gloucester, of course, have had 2 substitutes forced on them. It's blocked by Danny Ellis. And a great ball from Ellis, taken down brilliantly by Brooksby. Can't get past his man. And in the end, Gloucester come away with the ball. Substitute Nat Jarvis picks it up. Infield to Groves, tackled by Ben Parker. Need his experience this afternoon. And Gavin Rothery's drive and endeavour. Parker coming forward down the left-hand side. Gets on the end of a Rothery pass. Plays the ball into the penalty spot. Ollie Johnson gets a left-footed touch on it. Takes it straight to the goalkeeper. Tame finishing from Guiseley this afternoon so far. Now Gloucester come down the other end. Jake Gosling coming forward. Sends a ball out right to Mann. Mann infield to Giglio. Giglio square here to Tom Webb. And Webb across to the right-hand side where Michael Green takes over. He floats the ball towards the edge of the D. Nodded down by Mann, and then there's a free man in the area, but there's already a push. Nat Jarvis buried it, but the push by Mann on Holdsworth had already been given. Oh my goodness. I honestly don't think I can take another hour of this. It is still 1-0 to Gloucester. As it stands, I'm not hearing of a goal at Boston. As it stands, Guiseley would be okay. But, there's such a long way to go. The goalkeeper, Stephen Drench, starts again. Up towards Boyes. Headed clear by Harris. Now Guiseley in for a challenge. Adam Boyes on the centre half. He goes down. Guiseley fans berate the decision. A rather optimistic shout of off from our rather elaborately dressed Gloucester City fans away to our right. The man's down at the moment, and I think the referee's going to talk to Boyes and put him in the book. And no doubt, miraculously, the recovery, as soon as he realises the yellow card's going to be brought out, or the talking to is going to be brought out, will happen for Billy Jones. Come on, man. Referee just ends up giving a talking to Boyes there. I'm not quite sure I saw the actual incident itself, but certainly the reaction from the crowd wasn't overly significant.
No, it was a bit of a late one from Boyes, but nothing malicious in it at all, and definitely not deserved of a booking. So fair play to the ref there, not to get his book out. And yeah, it's just interesting here to see the shots just keep coming in from Guiseley, but they just keep getting drawn towards the keeper. So they just need to just find that position in the shot, just to get it to the side of him at the moment. It's just going all straight into his hands.
Ball sent forward now for a Guiseley throw in their left-back position. Still 0-0. Just hearing that Untied's just gone close for Worcester City in that game against Boston. 1-0 to Gloucester here at the moment. here on Guiseley AFC Radio. If you're just joining us, Billy Jones with a smartly taken free kick. Very well placed early on in this game, 3 minutes in. Guys hadn't even got out of their own half at that time. Struggling at the moment here. Ball forward from Ollie Johnson, has sent straight back, and then Danny Ellis is pushed over by Mann. And Adam Mann just looks at the referee. What me, ref? Ellis prostrate on the ground, is up straight away. Free kick to Guiseley. But I have to say, Adam Mann has been a very important player for Gloucester City in these opening periods. Stephen Drench with a free kick. Brilliant free kick. Boys with a shot into the bottom right-hand corner. And the Lions are back level. It was a simple pass, really, picked out Boys. But the distance, and not really as an assist for Stephen Drench. The players are congratulating him as much as Boys. Taken down brilliantly by the front man, buried into the bottom right corner. Guiseley 1, Gloucester 1.
What a finish that was from Adam Boys. It was a great ball over from Drench. But we just feel so good up here in the studio now. We needed that goal, and that is a massive goal. And it had to be that man, Adam Boys, who's been so good recently, getting these important goals for Guiseley. And he took it so well, he took it down brilliantly, and with a smart left-footed finish as well into the corner. That was fantastic play from Adam Boys, and a brilliant goal for Guiseley to score.
And breathe. One each. 31 minutes gone. Adam Boys with the equaliser after Billy Jones had scored after 3 minutes for Gloucester City. Now they come forward looking for Ollie Johnson. Ollie Johnson can't win that one. Hall with the touch. Finds Wayne Brooksby on the centre circle. Brooksby beats one man. Goes for a bit of a run. Goes towards the edge of the D. 2 on him. Cuts back. Beats man again. Takes a shot from distance. Well held by the goalkeeper. Good run from Wayne Brooksby. He got into the edge of the D after carving out a real opportunity for himself. Just couldn't apply the finish. Goalkeeper Mike Green has saved 2 or 3 this afternoon. Guiseley now win the ball in the halfway line. Given to Ollie Johnson. Playing with a little bit more energy, a little bit more confidence. The ball out here to Gavin Rothery. Rothery on the left-hand side of the penalty area. Tries to shake off his marker, which is Green. The right back gives it back to Ben Parker. Infield here to Boschel. Boschel to Rothery. Rothery still has Green shadowing him well. Rothery cuts in field, goes towards the edge of the penalty area, gives it over to Ollie Johnson. Johnson gets a shot away, bounces to Boys. Boys is onside, hits the bottom of the crossbar and bounces clear. Back to Ollie Johnson, into the area, takes a shot, deflects behind for a corner. We all stopped because it looked like Boys was offside when he received the ball, but he was on and he struck it firmly, but it came back off the underside of the crossbar.
Yeah, you feel he has to score that one, but he did look in an offside position, so it was an unusual one, but they'll get away with the corner here anyway, Guiseley.
Brooksby takes it short, goes to the edge of the area, curls it back in towards Danny Hall, over him, bobble just in front of him before he took the cross, and in the end it's a goal kick. Oh my goodness, we could have had some goals, couldn't we? But at the moment, Guiseley are level, and that's as much as we need this afternoon. 33 minutes gone. Billy Jones got the lead for Gloucester, but Adam Boys has equalised, and we've had more of the chances in this game, it has to be said. Adam Boys with a very close, coming very, very close to getting us in front. Relentless this, isn't it, Tim?
It really is, and yeah, you just feel there it was a chance to take the lead, but Guiseley can keep this momentum going from that goal to push on for a second goal, and they are at the moment the team with the momentum, and it's all coming towards the Gloucester end, which is a pleasure to see from a Guiseley point of view anyway.
Yeah, certainly. That's the only point of view we're interested in. Holdsworth sends the ball forward up towards Boys. The goalkeeper and number 4, Coupe, collide with each other on the edge of the area. The goalkeeper, Mike Green, tumbles over, but he keeps hold of the ball. And Boys was just looking in case he might just drop it there. He's recovered anyway. Green clears. Up into towards Mann. Holdsworth tackles him. Headed back into Guiseley's half by Coupe. And once again he's called into action to nod the ball forward. And Gloucester have the ball in Guiseley's half inside the centre circle with substitute Giglio. Out to the left-hand side where Billy Jones, the goal scorer, takes it. Sends it down towards Mann. Mann with 2 players on him. Skips past them but can't keep the ball in touch at the same time. And now it's out for a throw-in.
Yeah, just interesting to say here as well is Adam Boyes. He's been getting in such good positions since Gloucester took the lead, and you could see it with his goal. He was in that area waiting for the ball, and that's just what he's been doing recently. He's just getting in those goal-scoring positions, and he's just carrying on looking like it, and he looks like he's really itching to get a second goal.
Man coming deep, forcing Danny Boschel to concede possession. He's doing so well, man. He's full of energy. And Gloucester have the ball back here with Giglio. Out to the left-hand side where Jones sends it infield. Jake Gosling. Square to Matt Groves. Matt Groves is 30 yards from goal but tackled. And now Boschel, but Brooksby can come away with it. Sends it up towards Adam Boyes and then wins it back. Brooksby full of running and full of energy. The ball over, looking to release Boyes once again. Coupe across, sends it out into touch, and Guiseley have another throw.
Yeah, brilliant from Brooksby there. As you say, he had so much energy and he was just chasing down the ball. And Guiseley have got rid of these early nerves, and they're really looking like pushing on for this second goal now.
Still goalless at Boston. Well, sorry, at Worcester, where Boston are playing. So as it stands, Guiseley will remain that 3 points ahead of them. It's only a defeat that could put Boston in contention, yet then they'd still have to win. Guiseley just over-elaborating in their own back line at the moment. The ball given away to Gloucester. They send it forward. Danny Hall steps across. And then Danny Boschel is trying to win the ball back against Tom Webb. Webb goes to ground rather theatrically and gets nothing for his efforts. Guiseley come forward now. Boyes laying it back here to Jake Lawler. Ticking over nicely into the feet of Ben Parker. Gavin Rothery and Lawler hold on to it. Guiseley need to get a second, you feel, in this game. And a poor ball back from Boschel almost gives Giglio a chance to run through. Nat Jarvis it was, rather. To run through, but Guiseley recover, and it goes back to Stephen Drench.
Yeah, you needed Ellis there to cover behind. It was a bit of a risky one, and Ellis was there just to pick up the pieces and settle that mistake.
Now Rothery battling with Green, the fullback, and winning the ball out on the far left-hand side. Guiseley send it back to the halfway line. Jake Lawler sprays it well to the right flank where Andy Holdsworth lays it into the feet of Boschel. Boschel looks to send a long one forward over the top, trying to release Boyes. Sent back in. Boyes finds Johnson on the edge of the 18-yard box. Johnson gets a little bit of space. Terrible finish. He's gone behind for a goal kick. He does all the hard stuff, just hasn't applied the finish at all. And Guiseley have had yet another chance. There's a little bit of a mutiny in the stand here. But it was a well-delivered ball from Danny Boschel, taken down well by Boyes, fed into Ollie Johnson. Johnson beat the first one, and then when he got the space, he just couldn't apply the finish.
It was almost like he was trying to do too much there. He took it onto his left foot, took it back onto his right foot, and then tried to kill the shot in. Just for me there, just take it on your left foot, get the shot away, because he had all the goal to shoot at with only one defender coming in at him. But he tried to get it back on the right foot, curl it in. But again, yeah, good to see Guiseley pushing on and trying to get these shots on goal.
Now with the ball with Ollie Johnson on the halfway line. Well distributed to Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby comes forward with it. The ball just left behind him for a moment. Holds up his run. Now a bit of tricky. Tries to take past his man. Well tackled though by Tom Webb. And now a chance for Gloucester to come forward themselves. Guiseley have 2 rows of 3 players ahead of the Gloucester man. And in the end, Giglio has to step across and send it forward, and it's found its way through to Groves gives it to Nat Jarvis. At an awkward angle for Jarvis to get a shot away. In the end, it's gone harmlessly behind, but it is very, very tense every time Gloucester do go forward. Heart and mouth stuff, because it's 1 each. 7 minutes to go to the break.
Yeah, Guiseley did well there, the defence, to force him wide and force the shot have to come from the angle. So it was good defending in that way. But yeah, you do have to say you need to be careful of Gloucester late in this first half, looking to take that lead, because they haven't got anything to play for today apart from pride, and they'll just be pushing forward men and hoping to get that second goal. So for Guiseley, you just need to be careful of that.
Now a push has just been given against Adam Boyes. It's midway through the Gloucester half, 10 yards from the centre circle, central. And it's a chance for Guiseley to put the ball forward. Danny Ellis is trundling forward. Good opportunity this.
Yeah, it is to get a floated ball in, and Brooksby standing over it. Hopefully he'll float in another nice ball looking towards the back post where Ellis is floating around, and hopefully his head will be on it.
Guiseley with the free kick, taken by Brooksby, up towards Ellis. Ellis gets clear, across the face of the goal, headed away, taken away from Hall. Hall claims that he was pushed over. The ball quickly delivered into Guiseley's half, where Mann was looking to get onto it. A super challenge from Ben Parker to deny him. Over to Ellis. Ellis still advanced position, sends it long towards Boys, headed away from him by Coupe. And now Green can bring the ball forward for Gloucester from right back up to the halfway line, and chances. In truth, there were chances at both ends there, because guys were 2-on-2 when Gloucester came forward, and it was a great challenge from Ben Parker. And at the other end, Danny Ellis almost delivering the ball onto a plate, but now Gloucester come forward here, and somehow Groves has got away. Super save from Stephen Drench. Groves span on the ball brilliantly, got a good clean connection onto it, powered towards the goal, but Stephen Drench was in the right place just to palm that one away. This game has got another goal in it, hasn't it?
Get off your feet, man!
I don't know which end it'll go at the moment. Gloucester looks sharp when they come forward. Up towards Mann this time. Danny Ellis gets ahead on it. Gavin Rothery comes across to collect the ball inside the Guiseley half. Back here to Ben Parker. Lays it up to the halfway line. Ollie Johnson goes to ground. Under the challenger Coupe. Gets nothing. The ball back forward up towards Mann. Headed out by Danny Hall. Tense stuff here. 4 minutes to go, one each. Don't know about you, Tim, but I'm quite looking forward to the break, just to have a breather.
Yeah, my heart's racing so much here because it's just end-to-end stuff right now. And for Guiseley, you feel like they could have taken the lead and just settled some of our nerves up here in the press box, but it's not happened like that, and it's 1-1, and it's still nervous times. I want a breather.
Danny Ellis just went to make a clearance. He just sort of missed the flight of the ball. Guys, he escaped with it. Now they send it forward towards Boys on the left flank. He's got nobody in support, though, immediately. Has to go back to Brooksby. Brooksby takes a pile driver from distance. Falls to Boys. Boys fires it home. Guiseley have the lead. A shot from distance from Wayne Brooksby. Palmed away from Mike Green, but Adam Boys reacted first and coolly finished it, sending it to the bottom right-hand corner. And what a time to score. It's Guiseley 2, Gloucester 1.
And I'll tell you what, Colin, that certainly settles those nerves. That's a second goal and a massive goal for Guiseley. Again, it's that man Boys, so pivotal recently. And again, he was there in the right place at the right time. After it was a good save by Green initially from the Brooksby shot, but he could only get it as far as Adam Boys there, and it was another fantastic finish into the corner, in off the post. And as we say, what a time to score.
2 minutes to go to the break. Guiseley 2-1 now. Both goals to Adam Boys, having a super run of form. And what an important signing he has been for the side.
Come on, Guiseley!
And just to say, still 0-0 in the Boston game. But just looking ahead, Barrow are still leading 1-0 against Hensford Town. We'll just have to think of the ramifications for that, because I think fourth place was a possibility, isn't it? Just nodding around the press box as if we know what we're talking about. We're well versed in that expression. Stephen Drench, you're not missing anything at the moment, has a goal kick. Tim's given up the ghost. He's had enough. He's not filling in anymore. And the ball hits touch for a throw-in to Gloucester.
Sorry, Kyle, I didn't do my homework last night on all the ramifications of every goal going. I should have been there and on my computer looking, on my calculator even, summing up everything. But yeah, I haven't done that.
Ball picked up now by Giglio. Guys, you don't have to allow Gloucester back into this game. Webb sends it back. As you've got everyone back in their own half at the moment, except for Boys. Giglio still in his own half, looking to tease a threaded ball through towards the front men. Finds Jarvis. Jarvis out to the left-hand side, where it's a chance for Gosling to have a run at the Guiseley defence, but it's a well blocked and good tackle from Andy Holdsworth. Away to Ollie Johnson, and now Gavin Rothery comes up towards the halfway line, but Mann, who chases down everything, is holding him up, and Guiseley forced to go all the way back to Stephen Drench. And with 30 seconds of normal time, to go. Guiseley go forward now, up towards Rothery. Boys wins the ball, gives it into the feet of Ben Parker. Parker has a bit of a run, goes forward. Is surrounded by 3 players, but can find Jake Lawler on the halfway line. Lawler under tremendous pressure from Matt Groves. Does well to send the ball back, but also Groves did really well there to force Lawler away from goal. Because we've had 2 substitutions so far, we're going to have 2 minutes of added time. And now Guiseley send the ball long up towards the edge of the 18-yard box. Tom Webb feeds it back to the goalkeeper, Mike Green. Sent long. And Danny Hall just ducks out of the way of that one to make sure that it goes all the way through to Stephen Drench. What a first half we have had here at Nethermore. It was an early lead that went Gloucester's way, that gave us the jitters. But Adam Boyes has certainly eased those jitters towards the break anyway. I'm still feeling quite jittery myself, but 2 super goals and a great effort as well from Wayne Brooksby that led to that. But now Gloucester come forward again. This time they can't find the final ball, and it's over and into the feet of Stephen Drench. A minute of those 2 used up. Half time's coming in. Oxford City 1-0 up against Bradford Park Avenue. Altrincham 4-0 up against Histon. I think Tom Feaheny will give you all the scores from around the grounds at half time here. Guiseley make one last foray forward up towards Ollie Johnson. Challenge goes in on Adam Boyes. Boyes goes down. There's a complaint from the striker, and the referee gives Guiseley a free kick in a dangerous position just before the break. But more concerningly, he's actually got a bit of a knock, hasn't he, Adam Boyes?
Yeah, it was a slightly high foot there from Coop, I think, the captain there. He went in quite high on Adam Boyes' leg, but it didn't seem a massively clear foul, so it was nothing malicious there. But he did definitely catch him as they both went in together in the same challenge. So could be a little niggly one that Adam Boyes there just has to walk off.
So Wayne Brooksby with a free kick, about 10 yards from the edge of the D on the left-hand side of the area. Takes a shot, just goes a few inches over the crossbar. Looked like Mike Green had it covered. And as you can hear, the applause around the ground, rightfully so, is for that Guiseley side. A super performance after going a goal down to restore the nerves. Half-time here, it is Guiseley 2, Gloucester City 1.
Yeah, fantastic first half, and I mean it's not job done yet. We can't say that, but what we can say is that Guiseley have done so well to respond from going a goal behind. The game plan basically going out the window there, I guess, as you say, 3 minutes going on the clock and the goal going in for Gloucester. But Guiseley responded really well. They responded by just going attacking, and that's what they needed to do. They might need the win today, and that's exactly what they went for, and they've turned it round brilliantly with two goals. Fantastic performance, as we've got to say, by Adam Boyes. So that was fantastic, and really good to see Guiseley respond to going a goal behind. But as we say, it's not a job done yet, so another big performance needed in this second half. Yeah, plenty of work to do, but at half time, Tom Feahany's going to be keeping you up to speed with all those all-important half-time scores from all around, from the Premiership down to the Conference North, where the Lions, of course, are looking so closely at games involving Hensford, Boston, Altrincham, all of them really, as we go to the playoffs. So I'll be seeing you in the second half, and in the meantime, over to you, Tom.
Thanks, Colin. And at half-time, then, Guiseley are in a position where, well, the nerves are there. Guiseley 2-1 up at half-time, and of course Guiseley were behind after only 4 minutes. The nerves really were being felt at Nethermore Park. Some crucial scorelines going to be talked about during this half-time, but first of all, just talk about Guiseley. A fantastic, well, second part of the first half, where Guiseley, with Adam Boyes getting 2 goals, keeping his goal-scoring run going, and really just being in a position where, for his second goal, right place, right time, composed head, but that's the kind of striker Adam Boyes is, and he has scored another crucial goal, well, another 2 crucial goals, and that really could be the difference between Guiseley getting in the playoffs or not. Anyway, some half-time scores. We will go back to a bit more analysis of this first half, but at half-time then in the Barclays Premier League, a full-time score, Southampton 2, Everton 0, and of course Everton trying to get into the top 4. This is a major blow for them, and a case that really they cause their own downfall. 2 own goals, Alcaraz and Coleman with the goals for the Saints. The rest of the scores are half times, and it's Fulham 0, Hull 0, Stoke 0, Tottenham 1, Swansea 2, Aston Villa 1. A fantastic goal, by the way, by John Joe Shelby, and some people are saying that this goal was better than Wayne Rooney's wonder goal against West Ham, so that'll be an interesting one to look out for later on in the evening. And finally, West Brom 1, West Ham 0. Of course, there's one other game that's going to be happening at 5:30, Man U v Norwich, and that will be Ryan Giggs' debut as manager in that interim capacity. Anyway, now to the Sky Bet Championship, and one full-time score. Burnley 1, Ipswich 0. Michael Kitely with the goal. Of course, Burnley already guaranteed a place in the Premier League next season. They're guaranteed second place. Big result this for Ipswich Town, because it means they're now out of the running to get into the playoffs. The rest of these scores are half-times. It's Birmingham 0, Leeds United 0. Bournemouth 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Charlton 0, Blackburn 1. Derby 1, Watford 1. Doncaster 1, Reading 0. Huddersfield 0, Leicester City 1. Middlesbrough 0, Barnsley 0. QPR 0, Millwall 0. Sheffield Wednesday 1, Bolton 3. And Wigan 0, Blackpool 0. And what a crucial game that is. The last game, Wigan, they look like they're safe in the place. They've got that place. But for Blackpool, an awful run of form has seen them drop into the relegation zone. And when you consider that just a few years ago they were a Premier League side, you know, such a downturn in fortunes for them. And they'll be hoping to get something out of that game. And you never know, they might be able to get something more than a point. They might be able to get all 3. Anyway, Sky Bet League 1, all these scores are half times. Bradford 0, Crawley 0. Bristol City 0, Crewe 0. Carlisle 0, Oldham 0. Colchester 3, Brentford 1. Coventry 0, Wolves 0. Leyton Orient 1, Tranmere 0. Notts County 1, Swindon 0. Preston 1, Gillingham 1. Rotherham 0, MK Dons 1. Shrewsbury 2, Peterborough 3. And Stevenage 1, Walsall 0. Now turning our attention to Sky Bet League 2, and all these scores are half times. It's A.F.C. Wimbledon 0, Morecambe 2. Bury 2, Portsmouth 0. Dagon Red 0, Northampton 3. Exeter 1, Scunthorpe 0. Fleetwood 1, Southend 1. Mansfield 0, Torquay 2. Oxford United 0, Accrington 1. Plymouth 1, Hartlepool 0. Rochdale 2, Cheltenham 0. Wickham 1, Bristol Rovers 1. And York City 0, Newport 0. And well, for York City, they look like at the moment they would have a place in them playoffs confirmed. It's all but confirmed at the moment, but they'll be looking at the results which are going their way at the moment. And that is, of course, that Oxford are losing and York are not losing. They are 0-0 at the moment. Now to the Skrill Premier, and well, I'm just going to be going through the fixtures that will be happening. Of course, with it being the last game of the season, them games will be kicking off at 5:30, and I think when you look at the fixtures, some big games that are happening. Aldershot v Hereford is such an interesting game I really have been looking at. Hereford are in a position where if they win, they actually could relegate Aldershot, but if Aldershot win, Hereford are down. It really is a case that winner take all. Halifax, they're in the playoffs. It's all but confirmed. If they get something against Kidderminster, they are in the playoffs. And of course, last season at this time, Halifax had just confirmed their place in the playoffs in the Skrill North. So something for Guiseley to look at when you look at the journey Halifax have gone on in the season this year. They really have gone from strength to strength, and you never know, Guiseley, they might be able to replicate that bit of form. And final game I'm going to talk about is Hyde v Luton, and this really is top v bottom. You've got one team, Luton, who will be aiming to get 100 points, more than 100 points. They'll be on 101 with a win, against Hyde, who are on 10 points after 45 games. So really are in a position where it is top v bottom, and it is the team in form, the team that have had a fantastic season. The work John Steele's done, getting his side back into the Sky Bet League 2 against the side which will be in the Skrill North next season after only gaining 10 points. Anyway, now let's talk about the most important league, the Skrill North, and just so many of these games, there's so much to play for. And one of the half-time scores is it's A.F.C. Telford 1, Gainsborough Trinity 0. Now what that means is, at the moment, Telford will be promoted. For North Ferriby to be promoted, they need to get a win, and they also need to rely on Telford slipping up. And at the moment, it looks like North Ferriby United, they're doing their part of the job. They are winning 1-0. They scored quite early on, Clark with the goal, and well, it just adds more pressure to Telford. They are a goal up at the moment against Gainsborough Trinity, but if Telford slip up, North Ferriby will be right on their tail. What has to be noted is it looks like it will be one of these two sides that Guiseley play during the two legs, so it'll be on Wednesday and Saturday if Guiseley get into the playoffs. Of course, I don't want to be saying that Guiseley are there at the moment, but it does look like it will be either Telford or North Ferriby that Guiseley face on Wednesday at Nethermoor Park, 7:45 kick-off, and on Saturday, 3 o'clock, away from Nethermoor. Anyway, some more half-time scores. It's Barrow 1, Hendersford Town 0. And an interesting one here, if Guiseley win by a certain amount of goals and Hendersford lose by a certain amount, then Guiseley can actually get above Hendersford. So if Guiseley win by 2 clear goals and Hendersford lose by 2 clear goals, so a 4-goal swing, Guiseley will actually go ahead of Hendersford. So that would probably mean Guiseley have got Altrincham. What would you prefer? Would you prefer Altrincham or would you prefer North Ferriby? It is one of them. So many.
North Ferriby.
Well,
is the answer.
Well, yes, it is, and at the moment it could go either way. Histon 0, Altrincham 4. Altrincham have just got out the blocks quickly, and their impressive strike force doing the work yet again, doing the damage. And Damien Reeves, who has had a few injuries this season with 2 goals today, looking as impressive as ever. And if Guiseley were to get Altrincham, then Reeves and Walshaw would be a striking partnership you don't really want to be facing. Oxford City 1, Bradford Park Avenue 0, and Stalybridge Celtic 1, Workington 0. This is incredible. These two sides are both level on points and they're both winning at the moment. But at the moment it will be Oxford that are going down. But if Stalybridge were to slip up, Oxford will be in a position where they will be staying in this division next season. It's Vauxhall Motors 0, Solihull Moors 1. Of course, Vauxhall Motors will not be in this league next season. They've had to pull out because of funding reasons. Such a shame that is. Regarding that issue, Vauxhall Motors will be missed. And finally, it's Worcester City 0, Boston United 0. And of course, Guiseley will be looking at that Boston United result. At the moment, for Guiseley, it's just all about getting the job done at Nethermoor. But if Gloucester were to, produce a comeback and get the win, then all eyes would be turning to Worcester and to see how Boston United are getting on. At the moment, it is 0-0 there. And, at the moment, it means then if Guiseley were to lose, it wouldn't matter. Guiseley would be in the playoffs. But some incredible results and some incredible half-time scores coming in then at the moment in Skrill North. And just got to say, when you look at Guiseley, the work that Mark Bauer has done since he came in, all that many months ago, that 4-1 defeat to Altrincham, when it looked like it really, there was just no light at the end of the tunnel, followed by some incredible results. It all started with a 3-2 win against North Ferriby United, and the work continues now. Just going through the last 2 half-time scores, it's Leamington 1, Corwin Bay 1, and it's Stockport County 0, Harrogate Town 1. So they are all the scores that matter. And for Guiseley, it's all about just trying to calm down here. A nervy start from Guiseley. The Lions conceding after only 4 minutes. A free kick from Billy Jones, which curled into the corner of the net and really did cause Steve Drench problems. A fantastic strike. Steve Drench had no chance, and really was a case. And Guiseley looked nervous. Gloucester had a couple of more chances before Guiseley really got going, but Guiseley getting 2 goals through Adam Boys, who really has been a remarkable signing on loan from Gateshead. His goal-scoring run has been one of the main reasons why the Lions are in a position now to be, well, where they are at the moment. A fantastic run by Adam Boyes has seen the squad really develop and really get the goals that they needed to get the points on the board. And for Guiseley, a fantastic first half, really. All things considered, we'll take it. We'll take the first half the way things have been going.
Yeah, absolutely, Tom. We're looking at Gloucester. They've been sent out early for the second half. The tunnel was not ready for them, and they've sped the stewards up to get themselves out here. No sign of the Guiseley team yet. As I say that, they come out, guard of honour from the young footballers who've been on the pitch entertaining the fans at half-time, and a warm reception as Ollie Johnson leads out the Guiseley players for the second half. And for this second half, Tom, you're going to stay on and join us. You're going to take part in the tension and the nervousness. So I think me and Tom and Colin had all just about had our fill by half time. We're all knackered, but at 2-1 up. And to be honest, Guiseley, after they scored the equaliser, Guiseley really controlled that game. And apart from Adam Mann, who obviously looks dangerous, he's full of energy and his movement is great. But apart from that, they were reduced, the visitors, to bits and pieces and scraps, really, after that very bright start that they had.
Yeah, most definitely. And, you know, the nerves that were within Nethermore after 4 minutes, it was unreal. A fantastic strike by Billy Jones, you've got to give him credit for that. But the moment Guiseley got that equaliser, then Guiseley started to take control of this match. And now it's just all about getting the job done, because if Gloucester were to get an equaliser, the nerves would be back there yet again. And then you'll be looking at what Boston United are doing. If they take the lead, the nerves really will be in full force. And then Gloucester would be, you know, of course they're playing with freedom. They've got nothing really to play for. They've got that bit of freedom. So for them, it's just all about enjoying their football. They've brought their away fans who are all in fancy dress. They're having a good time. It really is now just about getting the job done.
Absolutely. No time for victory laps or anything of the sort yet. It would take a 2-goal swing in the second half to change the outcome, or take the outcome certainly out of Guiseley's hands. I don't think Boston are going to leave it up to Guiseley as the second half kicks off. Boston 0-0 in their game, but I don't suspect it will stay that way. They have everything to play for, and they're going to be desperate to put the pressure onto Guiseley. And Guiseley have alleviated the pressure they put themselves under in the first half by getting themselves in at half-time, a goal to the good. But everything still to play for, and it's bobbling around on the edge of the Guiseley area. Difference between now and the start of the first half is that there's a little bit more assurance in there. There are white-shirted players around the ball quicker, and everybody's mucking in and helping each other out. We'll bring you the teams in just a moment. The Gloucester have the chance to come forward on the break after a loose pass from the Guiseley striker Ollie Johnson. And Danny Boschel and Jake Lawler tidy it up and bring it back under control. Holdsworth launches it long into the flanks, looking for Johnson to run onto. Realistically, he's not going to have the legs to get to that. And Jack Harris lets it roll out of play harmlessly. It's now 5-0 to Altrincham away to Histon, so they are making their intentions absolutely clear ahead of their playoff campaign. I'll bring you these teams now. First, the visitors, Gloucester City. The keeper, Mike Green, right back. Michael Green, left back. Billy Jones. And then in order, Matt Coupe, Jack Harris, Tom Webb. Lewis Hogg went off for Marcus Giglio in the first half, in the 16th minute. Matt Groves, Adam Mann, Nat Jarvis, the substitute who came on for Will Morford, and Jake Gosling. Throw-in taken by Andy Holdsworth. Level with the edge of the Gloucester City area. Cut out by a Gloucester defender at the expense of another Guiseley throw, this time taken to Johnson. Johnson plays it back to Holdsworth. Good cross to the edge of the box. Adam Boyes with his back to goal, trying to thread Ollie Johnson in. He's almost got the ball at his feet in the area, and he does look dangerous in the area. He has that time with the ball at his feet, but so far Johnson's finishing has let him down. He had a couple of good chances that he didn't make the best of, and then a couple of difficult ones that he didn't get on target. This time it's Adam Boyes at the back corner. Kind of came from nothing, that ball over the top to the feet of Adam Boyes. It came forward from Ben Parker, I think, and Boyes just suddenly found himself in acres of space inside the area, that time just popping it wide of the post. Boyes still not moving as freely as you'd like, and I just wonder if he picked up a groin injury in that foul towards the end of the first half, he's not looked right. A groin injury or a lower abdomen. He seems to go back. He seems to be kind of holding that area. He doesn't look like he's moving comfortably. And as I say that, Martin Stringfellow and Mark Bauer are having a discussion and looking in that direction. And I wonder if, Tom, we might see a change at some point.
Yeah, well, it's better to be safe than sorry at the moment. You know, if Guiseley do get into playoffs, of course, only 4 days to go until the match would be played, that first leg. So if Boys has got a slight knock, get him off early and make sure, you know, he's ruled out of the playoffs.
Of course, the Lions haven't got a huge amount left on the bench, with Alex Johnson out already injured, Danny Forrest already out injured. Kevin Holsgrove did his hamstring. I'm astonished to see him on the bench today, but he's obviously not fit enough to start yet, otherwise he would have, ahead of Ollie Johnson, who isn't ever going to last 90 minutes. Long ball over the top, Adam Mann trying to cause trouble for both Danny Hall and Danny Ellis, getting in between them, but it's cut out well. Played long to the fullback, Jones. And he's got the ball under control. Gloucester have it on the halfway line. Referee's given a foul. Gloucester were in possession. I think they'd rather have played on with it, but it's been pulled back to be taken by Billy Jones just inside the Guiseley half, and Guiseley camped in deep. All the defenders and midfielders on the edge of the area, forming a defensive line. Lots of Gloucester players in there amongst them. Jones chooses to play it out wide to the left rather than float it to the edge of the box, and when it comes back to him, completely shanks it. And I'm not sorry to say, Tom, that I'll be happy to see a few of those in the second half.
Yeah, most definitely. The more time they waste and the more chances they waste, the better. But just going back to that free kick being awarded there, Gloucester had a number of men forward before that free kick was given, and then it just seemed that bit of momentum they had was taken away. They took the free kick, they completely wasted it, and you know, that's good news for Guiseley.
I've just been passed a stat from Tim, who for all his protestations, he doesn't know the permutations of the league. He's passed me one now, which is, I hadn't realised this. As it stands, Guiseley would finish 5th, level on points with Hensford, but Hensford are only 1 goal ahead on goal difference at the moment. So if Guiseley were to score another 1 or 2, I mean, it's a huge ask, we'd be happy just to get there, absolutely. But if Guiseley were to score a couple in the second half and finish better than Hensford, could finish 4th, and there is a long shot then of home advantage way down the line in two weekends' time. If Hensford and Guiseley were both to make it through to the final, then that match would be played at Nethermoor. That, of course, is absolutely miles away. We just want to get through 90 minutes here today, first of all. But that is how finely poised it is at the top of the division after a long season full of twists and turns. You're not missing a huge amount on the pitch at the moment. Guiseley have had it, but not done anything much with it, and now they've given it away, and it's Mann trying to thread it through to the substitute Jarvis, but easy for Drench to come forward and collect in his hands and kick from hands, looking for Ollie Johnson, forward and out to the left. It falls to the feet of Danny Boschel. Gavin Rothery surely fouled by the fullback Green, and the free kick's given right in front of the Guiseley dugout. Not a huge amount of activity on the substitutes bench at the moment. Adam Boyes still looking like something in the groin or lower abdomen area is troubling him. Keeps holding his sort of stomach and not looking happy at all. But he's out there at the moment and continues to play, and we continue to play at 2-1 to Guiseley. You're listening to Guiseley AFC Radio, and it is the home team in possession. Wayne Brooksby tries to turn it around the corner and play Boyes in. It comes back to the Guiseley defenders again. This time it's a long ball from Danny Ellis into the channel, and I'm watching Boyes running there, and he's not running with any pace or purpose. He doesn't look happy. And maybe this is just the pessimism and the doom mongers up here, Tom, but I can't imagine a worse scenario than us getting through by the skin of our teeth but not having Adam Boyes for Wednesday.
Yeah, most definitely. I think Adam Boyes went to the bench and Martin Stringfellow seemed to just say, "How are you doing?" And Boyes seems to want to continue to play on, but every time he starts running, he looks to be in pain. So I do think it's the case, if there's any discomfort, it does look like there might be a sub coming up now anyway, but hopefully that will be Boyes. Just get him off and wrap him up in cotton wool for Wednesday.
And you have to imagine it's going to be Kevin Holsgrove to come on, who, as we said, isn't fit himself. Anyway, Gavin Rothery's on the edge of the area, gets through to the box, and then with his left foot skies it. Goes a good few yards over the bar, but nice play from Rothery. So tricky with the ball at his feet. But if Boyes is withdrawn, the two options really on the bench are Holsgrove and then Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams has looked like a prospect, but this isn't the afternoon really that I'd want to be pinning all my hopes on him as the lone striker, knowing that Ollie Johnson probably won't last the match either. We're looking really patched together up there at the moment. So many injuries amongst the strikers. Suddenly we understand why we've got about 5 or 6 of them in the squad. Yeah,
most definitely. You get one injured, then another seems to always get injured as well. But hopefully they can all be ready for the playoffs.
Adam Boyes tries to get in behind the defence. Billy Jones steps across well, intercepts it. Ollie Johnson's fighting for it. Gloucester have the ball at their feet, trying to thread it out of their half. Guiseley chasing them down and pressuring them well. Gloucester struggling to get up even as far as the halfway line. A good challenge by Gavin Rothery. Actually, it came in the end from that challenge off of Mann. And Mann's conceded the throw-in. So Guiseley stepped forward, and Ben Parker, about 15-20 yards into the Gloucester half, has the ball in his hands, ready for this throw. Ollie Johnson, Gavin Rothery and Jake Lawler are all around him, jockeying for position, and it's taken to Rothery over the top for him to run onto, intercepted well by the captain, Matt Coupe.
Just nervy times for Guiseley, but it's just so important, all this play, just getting the ball up into Gloucester's half and just keeping it there. It isn't pretty, but they've done it a few times, Guiseley, under Mark Bauer, just keeping the ball, getting the result and grinding it out. And at this stage of the season, that's all that matters.
Exactly what I was going to say, Tom. All nerves at the moment, and it's affecting us up here as well. Guys, we have it on the edge of the area. Shot comes across with the right foot from Ben Parker. It was a good shot, to be fair, on his weak foot, looking for the far top corner, but it was a little bit wide. And Green will take the kick.
Yeah, it's just with Ben Parker, he doesn't get too many goals, but when you give him time and space, he can do something like that. It's not a bad effort. The keeper didn't look too concerned, didn't dive, but, Parker, time and space, had a shot, just wide.
Yeah, you have to remember, Parker was pegged on as a possible left winger for Leeds for a while, not just a defensive player, and so he does know what he's doing up there. It's not completely alien to him, but perhaps on his right foot, that was a little bit too much to ask of himself. And Gloucester have the ball now in front of the main stand, in front of us here on the halfway line. And they're trying to get some space on the left, and Jones chooses to play it in midfield, absolutely nowhere near a Gloucester man.
Well, big goal then. Worcester are beating Boston 1-0.
Wow. Well, we can't rely on that, but look, that would take the pressure off. It's only 1-0. Yes, Worcester are beating Boston. We can't. Colin, you've been heckling me from the seat next to me. Danny Ellis heading a ball clear here. And Danny Boschel brings it away. Wayne Brooksby crosses the halfway line on the right, running at Jones, the left back, who stands his ground, tries to drop a foot in there to kick the ball away, but I'm afraid he took Brooksby in the process, and correctly a free kick being given. And I think he's a teeny bit unlucky, actually, Billy Jones there, but he looks like he's going to go into the book. Referee Turner pops him into the book with a yellow card in the 11th minute of the second half. And if I was Wayne Brooksby, I'd be trying to run at Billy Jones every time I had the ball at my feet for the rest of the game.
Yeah, definitely. I do think Jones was unlucky there because he couldn't really do much. Brooksby completely outpaced him and seemed to more run into him than get tackled, but it's a yellow card, and now he really will have to be careful throughout the rest of the match.
All the tall players forward. Brooksby to take the free kick, curling across, headed away by a Gloucester man, falls to Gosling on the edge of the area. He's looking for someone to pass it to, and he finds it in the space of man across the halfway line, runs onto it. Brooksby back, challenging well, excellent challenge, holds man off, and Andy Holdsworth arrives to pick up the loose ball. Unfortunately, his pass forward was wasted straight through to the keeper Green, but excellent defending that by Wayne Brooksby after he was involved in the attacking phase of the play. Still with Gloucester, crossing into the half to our left, towards the railway ends, played into the box by Gosling. Man was arriving late but couldn't get onto it, and Danny Ellis just had to turn it away for a Gloucester throw. In fact, actually, is it being given as a Guiseley throw? It'll be Ben Parker on the left to take it. The substitution is coming, and it's the one we predicted, I'm afraid to say. Adam Boyes, who hasn't looked right since that foul just outside of the area at the end of the first half. The 2-goal man who's brought Guiseley back into the game with his sharp finishing, his excellent movement and his red-hot form, unfortunately having to be withdrawn to be replaced by Kevin Holsgrove. And the question is, on 57 minutes, has Kevin Holsgrove got 35-40 minutes in his legs today? I suspect he's not on the bench because he's fully fit, so much as because there are so many other players injured. And he's going to be looking to play through the middle. He's going to have to do all the running up there as the lone striker ahead of Ollie Johnson. And hopefully he's got what it takes to lead the line for the rest of the game. It's on the halfway line. Andy Holdsworth plays it right to Wayne Brooksby, who hugs the touchline. Slows down for a second, picks out the pass to Johnson, who plays it back to Brooksby. Brooksby stands again with the ball, chooses the pass back towards Holdsworth, to Boschel, who threads it forward through. First time pass from Ollie Johnson, 1-2 between him and Kevin Holsgrove, and then one of the most shocking shots you're likely to see all season. I think he was aiming for the corner flag that time, Johnson.
Wow.
He's having a frustrating afternoon because he's been involved in most of Guiseley's good attacking moves, but he doesn't look like he's brought his shooting boots with him. He's got his passing boots on.
Yeah, definitely. You know, his build-up play is not bad, but honestly today he's missed 3 or 4 real good chances there. That is, well, it's nearer to the corner flag and it has gone into the car park, so less said about that the better.
Absolutely. Goal kick taken by Gloucester. Defended well by Danny Hall. It's with Ben Parker on the halfway line with 3 Gloucester men around him. He manages to pick out Jake Lawler under pressure, and Danny Ellis, picks up the scrap, plays it back to the goalkeeper Drench. Long ball looking for Holdsworth to run onto. He's got 2 men to beat. Coolly headed back to the keeper by Billy Jones. And Mike Green has it in his hands once again. And Guiseley haven't looked under an enormous amount of pressure since half-time. And with Boston currently losing, everything seems to be going their way at the moment, but there's an awful lot left of this afternoon. And guys will want to keep it in their own hands. Andy Holdsworth wins it well on the halfway line and strides forward with it. Tries to get it through to Johnson. Johnson moves well, running diagonally in behind the defence, but Green, the keeper, came out and collected well. He plays it to Green, the fullback, at right back. And Gloucester have it in midfield now. It's frantic. There's not been a let-up in play, really, since half-time. I hope you're getting the tension in the ground. I think everybody here knows that it's in Guiseley's grasp. And as long as they are winning, or at least drawing in this game, then it won't matter what's happening in the Worcester City versus Boston game. But flashbacks to the year that we won the Glue League, the Unibond as it was back then, and waiting for the Boston result to come in that afternoon. Guiseley will want to make sure they do everything that they possibly can to keep it under their own control. Only Danny Ellis of the team here will remember that day today, and what a stalwart he's been. Played his 400th appearance for the Lions last weekend, and he will take a free kick now. In fact, he's left it for Stephen Drench, about halfway towards the halfway line. Drench takes it quickly, looking for Wayne Brooksby. Absolutely aimless it was. He apologises to his teammates. Wayne Brooksby didn't even attempt to run onto that. And Green kicks it long with his left foot towards the edge of the Guiseley area. Danny Ellis gets a foot onto it, but it's only landed at the feet of Marcus Giglio. Outside the Guiseley area, intercepted by Jake Lawler and taken over by Brooksby, who plays it to Johnson. Johnson has choices to his left and right. He chooses Holsgrove to his left. Further left to Gavin Rothery, striding forward on the edge of the box, looking to cut in onto his right foot. Or will he take the cross? He does with his left. It's just taken out of the path of Ollie Johnson, who falls to Kevin Holsgrove, who just couldn't get it under control. Had 2 stabs at it, played it into the keeper, and keeper Green turned it around the post. There is another goal to be aware of, and Worcester City have just gone 2-0 up against Boston. Bit of breathing room now for Guiseley. They could afford to lose now. But I don't think we want that. Wayne Brooksby's measuring a corner. Danny Boschel's coming short to receive it, but instead it goes long into the box looking for Danny Hall. It's headed away, but only as far as Brooksby, who's still wide to the right, slows it down, gives it to Danny Boschel on the edge of the box, onto the left foot of Kevin Holsgrove, who drives it, but it's too close to the keeper Green. who brings it under control and kicks it out of hands long. Adam Mann looking to get in behind Andy Holdsworth. He's managed to do so. It's landed at his feet. Holdsworth trying to see him outside. Mann crosses it with his left foot. No one in the Guiseley area for Gloucester City. And then there's a foul on Ben Parker within the box. Well, that gives us a break in play. I'm just going to breathe for a second, Tom. Say anything, literally anything, just to give me a second.
The pressure seems to be off just a little bit now. It's 2-0 to Worcester, but for Guiseley there, Kevin Holsgrove really should have made it 3-1. A fantastic save by Green, the keeper. Holsgrove, he miskicked it once, has another shot. The keeper seemed to be wrong-footed, but he just got his body in the way, and it's a good save. But Holsgrove, he looks impressive since he's come on, and it's good to see boys getting off, and he's stayed on the bench, boys, which looks important. It looks like he isn't too hurt, but you never know.
Poor refereeing there, pulled it back for a Gloucester City free kick on the edge of the centre circle into the Guiseley half. When Gloucester had the ball at their feet and were running at the Guiseley defence, they're not happy at all. The captain, Coupe, is coming forward for a word with referee Turner. Really wanted to play the advantage and carry on, but they've not been given that option, and so Billy Jones is measuring another free kick. It's far too far out to shoot from, but Gloucester have got their defenders into the box, all lining up on the edge of the Guiseley area. Jones takes the free kick now with his left. Jake Lawler trying to get his head to it. Doesn't get any distance on it. It's out wide to Matt Groves, who's on the right. Turns Kevin Holsgrove, crosses with his right foot. It's over everybody's head. Wayne Brooksby scampering in a race with Billy Jones to track it down at the far post. Jones got there first, but he made an ambitious back heel. Gives it away, returns the possession to Guiseley. Wayne Brooksby, Danny Boschel and Andy Holdsworth bringing it under control. Switching the play now, Andy Holdsworth to the left. Kevin Holsgrove has it in space. I'm always going to get tripped up every time Holdsworth and Holsgrove have the ball in close proximity to one another. Fortunately, it's out of play just in front of the dugouts, and there's another substitution being made, and it is a Gloucester one. It's their third of the game. Ed Williams is coming on, and Matt Groves is being withdrawn 20 minutes into the second half.
Well, Gloucester's intensity really has gone since Guiseley took the lead, but for Guiseley there's been one or two warnings that Gloucester could just create something out of nothing. So for Guiseley it's just all about now being professional and getting the job done.
Absolutely. Gloucester have a free kick within their own half. Michael Green will take it. It's over on their right touchline, very close to the Guiseley dugout, and the fullback Green chooses to square it to the only other player in his own area, Jones. Jones makes a long pass forward. Guiseley are trying to get it clear on the edge of their area, and Ben Parker does so. Good distance on the clearance. Kevin Holsgrove hasn't got what it takes to get around Jones and onto that long speculative ball though, and Green, the keeper, tidies up again to Green, the right back, who plays it long. Looking to thread Nat Jarvis in. Collected by Stephen Drench. And we've just got to try and stay calm. We've just got to try and stay calm.
It's impossible around here.
It is. There's a hush around the ground that everybody knows what's at stake. I don't know if everyone realises the score in the Worcester game. It might not count how we do today, but after that early goal and that sinking feeling that went around the ground, I think everybody just wants to see Guiseley steal this comeback. Apart from anything, they need it for the morale heading into the Wednesday home game, if we were to get to it. Of course, the Wednesday home game almost certainly, or the Wednesday playoff would almost certainly be a home game for Guiseley, because we'll probably find ourselves finishing fifth on goal difference, if nothing else. I've lost track of what the score is in the Hensford game at the moment, but frankly, fifth place is absolutely fine by me. And that would see Guiseley play home first on Wednesday, and if they were to make it to a playoff final, they would be guaranteed to be an away game, as they would have been the lowest placed of the playoff players. Threaded in at the back post to Adam Mann. It's been fumbled by Stephen Drench, and an absolutely heroic clearance off the line. Sliding last-ditch effort by Danny Hall, and the ball's coming in again from Billy Jones. Easy for Jake Lawler to cut out, and Guiseley have the chance to break with Wayne Brooksby onto Kevin Holsgrove into the Gloucester half on the right. Gets in behind the defender Jack Harris, and then Harris recovers well to just outpace Kevin Holsgrove and tidy up Looked like Guiseley had an opportunity for a moment there, but actually it was very good defending by Jack Harris to recover when he was on the back foot. And once again, Adam Mann is in behind the Guiseley defence. He's looked full of running all afternoon. This time he's crossing it in with his left, too close to the keeper, Drench, about 4 yards out from the goal. And that gives us an opportunity. I think I'm going to hand over to Colin here. I'm going to do the right thing. I'm going to go and find my brother and sister-in-law down on the fence behind the goal and do the last 20 minutes how you should. Sorry to jump ship, lads. Long ball looking for Kevin Holsgrove, but it's going to be tidied up out of play for a throw-in, and that's going to give me a chance for the final 22 and a half minutes of the regular league season. Colin, do not mess this up.
Can't promise anything. I tell you what, it's going to be a tense 22 minutes. I was almost jumping ship myself there before you got in before me. The Lions lead 2-1. Just a moment earlier, though, Danny Hall having to lunge to clear the ball off the line as Gloucester looked almost certain to equalise. But at the moment, it's still 2-1. Those two Adam Boys goals, the difference between Guiseley and Gloucester this afternoon. Boys not on the pitch anymore. He's had to go off with what looks to be some sort of groin injury. Gloucester now coming forward as they've got a bit of impetus from that opportunity they've had a couple of moments ago. The ball down here from Michael Green into the feet of Jake Gosling. Gosling on the right-hand side, twist past Jake Lawler, gets the ball across the face of goal, but it's just gone behind, and it's a goal kick.
Well, going back to that clearance off the line by Danny Hall, what a fantastic moment that was. Take a bow. It really was one of them moments where Danny Hall, he's stretched, he's just got it off the line. It looked like the ball had gone in. Steve Drench was beaten, but you know, that is the difference in games like this between getting the win and getting the point. And of course, you know, at the moment with the Boston result, the way that's going, it's fine. But you know, if Boston were to produce an unlikely comeback and get that win, the pressure really would be on Guiseley. So it's just all about making sure Guiseley just get the result here. Don't have to rely on other sides. And it's moments like that fantastic clearance by Hall, which really makes the difference.
Well, in all of that, there's been another Guiseley substitute. Ollie Johnson's made way. He's had a industrious game. Just hasn't been able to apply a finish in the end. And Guiseley have brought on Michael Potts. Now Wayne Brooksby on the ball on the right-hand flank. Bit of a shout of handball against him when he took that ball down, but fell down at an awkward angle for him. He has got it under control, and Guiseley still come away with it. Danny Boschel now on the right-hand side, almost just at the corner flag. In the end, can't keep it in play, but does earn Guiseley a throw-in right down by that corner flag.
Well, this is so important for Guiseley now with just 20 minutes to go. Guiseley now just starting to keep the ball a bit more, keep possession, dictate play. You know, Gloucester, they haven't got anything to play for, and Guiseley have, and it's just all about that will, that wanting to win that Guiseley are having to show at the moment. And, you know, the longer the time goes on, the better the chances that Guiseley will get all 3 points.
Guiseley on the ball now. Potts, his first touch of the ball is a little bit of trickery out on the far touch line. And Guiseley a throw again. Potts so industrious when he gets into midfield. The throw short to Holsgrove. Holsworth sends it infield to Boschel. Boschel in towards Potts, but Potts is tackled. And then the ball's taken away with Gavin Rothery slipping as he goes in on the tackle. But Gloucester are in a real counter-attack here. And they come forward with real conviction, but the shot from distance is high and over. Marcus Giglio, it was in the challenge. I don't think there was any malicious intent from Gavin Rothery. He sort of slipped over. Referee's going over to talk to Gavin Rothery now. I thought it was just one of those coming togethers, to be honest.
It's a 50-50. Both men have gone for the ball. It's just when Rothery goes in, he just loses his balance and slips, and I think it means he just makes a little bit of contact with the player. It looks like he's going to get booked for it, Rothery.
Yeah, he has. He's gone into the book. Gavin Rothery, another yellow card. And a bit frustrating that. I don't think there was any need for the yellow card at all. But Guiseley are now anyway able to take a breather with 19 minutes to go. It's still 2-1 here. And I'm ably getting some scores fed through to me, which I'll give you shortly. Holsgrove, meanwhile, has just won the ball for Guiseley, and then as Jake Lawler tried to thread it through from his pass, the Lions concede. But Danny Hall A clearance off the line a few moments ago, and now a thundering challenge on the halfway line gives Guiseley possession back. Wayne Brooksby, 3 players around him, into the feet of Potts. Potts, a little bit of trickery, sends it back to Holdsworth. Into the feet of Potts, and Brooksby now lays it back to Holdsworth. Sends it over, there's 2 players offside. There's a lot of big games and big goals going around the ground. An equaliser now for Bradford Park Avenue at Oxford City. This means that Oxford would now be relegated as things stand. It's one of those oft-used phrases, isn't it, Tom? As it stands on this day of the season.
Well, I'm sick of hearing it, but there's just so much happening in the Scroll North and so much on the line, both at top and bottom of the league. And still right now, not everything has been decided, but hopefully Guiseley's place in the playoffs will be confirmed at the end of the match.
Don't speak yet. Ed Williams coming down with the ball on the left-hand side. Good tackle again from Andy Holdsworth. So confident in the tackle is Andy Holdsworth. Stands in the right place. Undramatic, but often wins the ball just when you think that the opposition have got a real run on him. The ball back now with Mike Green in the Gloucester goal. 17 minutes to go. Headed on now by Jake Lawler. Return to him. A little bit of head tennis between the two sides. We saw an awful lot of that on Monday. And a rather aimless pass from the Guiseley man. In the end, it's out for a Gloucester throw inside their own half. Yeah,
such a shame there by Lawler. Does really well. Then he's just trying to pick out a pass, and I think he thinks that Gavin Rothery is going to make a run, so he aims the ball forward.
Now a great chance here for a ball that went over the top for Holsgrove to almost get on the end of, but a last-ditch challenge from Coupe. Gets the ball away, and then it's long. Good tackle again from Danny Hall to prevent Gloucester getting over the back line, and then picked up by Wayne Brooksby on the right touchline. Brooksby looking for Potts, making a very intelligent run through. He opts for the square ball in the end and gives it to Danny Boschel. Over now with Ben Parker and Gavin Rothery in front of the dugout. Rothery chips it forward and unfortunately just hits touch. 16 minutes to go. 2-1. Last we heard, Worcester were 2-0 up against Boston. Take nothing for granted in this game. It's an awful lot of football yet to be played, I'm sure. Guys who now head the ball up with Danny Ellis as Gloucester come forward again. They're looking to attack the goal a little bit more frequently than they were doing in the early part of this second half. Ed Williams on the right-hand side tries to keep the ball ticking over, gives it over to Tom Webb. Webb out to the right-hand side where Green and then cuts in field. Gloucester with plenty of players around the edge of the 18-yard box. Eventually it goes long, but it's a poor ball. Guys, he can just take the time, let the ball go over the back line and into the feet of Stephen Drench.
Yeah, it's just so important for Guiseley now, and it's just so repetitive as well. It's just all about keeping possession, making sure that when Guiseley get the ball, they make no rash decisions, and it's just all about the clock. It's ticking down, getting the win, getting into the playoffs, and looking at how Boston are doing, they've had a chance. They should really have got a goal back. So now it's just all about just making sure Guiseley get the result at Nevermore.
At the moment, Gloucester are on the ball though. Giglio plays the ball forward in towards the target man in the area. Good header from Ben Parker though to deny Nat Jarvis. And then it's forward. Holsgrove ploughing a bit of a lone furrow with Potts just playing behind him at the moment in what looks like a sort of 4-4-1-1. With guys who are just trying to see this game through. Gloucester have the ball, have plenty of possession in the last few moments. Coop, the captain, sends it out to Green. Green sends it forward towards Jarvis. Gosling and Jarvis out on the right flank, still into possession. But guys who win ball back. And Jake Lawler threads it through to Gavin Rothery. Rothery gives it to Michael Potts, and Potts has been fouled. The referee doesn't give anything. Incredible. Now Gloucester come forward. That was remarkable, really. It seemed a fairly blatant foul, Tom.
Yeah, well, he's gone straight through the back of him, and it's interesting, the Gloucester player basically holds his hands up after he's made that tackle, and the referee gives nothing, play goes on, and just one of them. You can't see why the referee hasn't given a free kick there.
Such is life. The ball goes forward. Danny Ellis has to intercept it back into the Gloucester half, but there's only Kevin Holsgrove to aim for. Guys, he's sitting back a bit here at the moment and hoping to soak up the pressure and just see this one through. Now Gloucester have the ball with Giglio. Guiseley defend once again. Holsgrove in the centre circle in his own half, the most forward player. Sends it back to Gavin Rothery. Rothery takes on one, skips over the halfway line now. He's got Holsgrove to the left, threads it through to Holsgrove. Holsgrove's got no support in the area just at the moment. Tries to play it past his man. Good tackle from Coop, but it's gone behind for a Guiseley corner.
Yeah, good play there by Holsgrove, because some would have had a shot in that position, but Holsgrove is trying to feed the ball through to Rothery. Instead takes the deflection, get a corner, and it's just all about now keeping the ball, keeping possession, right side of the pitch, and it's now 3-0 to Worcester.
Oh yes, we'll take that. Worcester 3, Boston United 0. Surely that I don't know why I said that. Surely we're in there. Guys, you have a corner as well on the left hand side as they attack this Gloucester goal. Whipped in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed on. Danny Ellis gets a header that bounces back off the defender, still recovers possession into the feet of Jake Lawler. Ellis back towards the back post, nobody's there in that position, so Green can collect comfortably. But just a sign for a moment that Guiseley might have got a sight of goal. The ball forward from Green, very effective at finding the front men. Gloucester get it into the feet of Jarvis, and then have forced back to the halfway line. Michael Green forward down the right hand side, and Gloucester looking to deliver another ball forward. Just a little bit pedantic there from Giglio. Took a little bit too much time on it, but the ball does come through here towards Man. Man slips at the important time. Jake Lawler gets it away, but Gloucester recover once again. This time Harris, the fullback, charging forward up to the edge of the 18-yard box. Rothery sending him out to the left-hand channel. Gets the cross, takes a deflection, works it away across the 18-yard box. Eventually Michael Potts does enough to clear up to the halfway line. Holsgrove won't keep that in, and it'll be a Gloucester throw.
Good play there by Potts and Holsgrove. You know, they've come on as substitutes and they are making a difference. They are just keeping the ball, doing well there. Holsgrove really unlucky there, because if he'd have kept that in, he would have been one-on-one with the keeper. But just another moment where Guiseley now just keeping the ball, doing nothing stupid and getting the 3 points, keeping that momentum going.
Well, the goal could change our position. Potts is onside. He's broken the back forward, broken the goalkeeper, goes round the goalkeeper. Can he finish? He can! Guiseley have the third! Michael Potts, a wonderful, cool finish from Potts, the substitute. Guiseley break the offside trap. He just walks the ball round the goalkeeper, slides it into the back of the net, and it's now Guiseley 3, Gloucester 1.
Well, thank goodness for that. Hopefully it is game over now for Guiseley. I think this is telling. Steve Drench has run all the way from his goal. He's run up to Michael Potts to congratulate him. Surely Guiseley are in the playoffs. Thank goodness for that. Michael Potts, since he's come on, he's been so effective. And there he rounds the keeper. Clever finish. And, well, hopefully that's it now. Surely that's it. Surely Guiseley are in the playoff.
3-0 to Worcester, 3-1 to Guiseley. That's got to give us a bit of optimism, hasn't it? But it couldn't happen to a better man, could it? Michael Potts, you know, he's worked hard all season. He's had times when he's not been able to break into the starting 11, but he's got undoubted quality, and he really showed it there, doesn't he? And that just goes to show the importance of the players who aren't in the starting 11 and the important role that they play when they come on.
Yeah, most definitely, and I think Michael Potts' attitude's right. He's more than happy to play in any position. I've seen him play in the defensive role once or twice. I've seen him play just like there in more of an attacking role, and then he's also played in the midfield role. He's more comfortable with and more used to. But there, what a fantastic moment. All the players running up to Potts and congratulating him, and the smiles on the players' faces now, and it's all about just that momentum going into that first leg on Wednesday, and hopefully guys can keep that going.
Ball now here with Giglio for Gloucester. They've got everyone in the Guiseley half as they look to get a foothold back in this game. They were 1-0 up in this match earlier on, if you're just joining us. It was a super strike from Billy Jones, the fullback, from a free kick. We all had shaky moments there. But since then, Guiseley have come on strong. 2 goals from Adam Boys, and now, a few moments ago, Michael Potts, the substitute, come off the bench. And he scored earlier against Gloucester in this season. Well, he's repeated the thing today. Now Gloucester with Jones trying to get the ball across. Danny Ellis blocks the cross, prevents it from going behind for a corner. It's a throw-in to the visitors, just up from the corner flag on the left-hand side. And to Mann, who's been a real threat in Guiseley's side here this afternoon. Gets the cross in once again, up towards the back post. Enough of a head from Danny Boschel to get it away. Only as far as Tom Webb. Webb into Gosling. Gosling finds man on the edge of the 18-yard box. Andy Holdsworth stands across him, just holding the right position again. The ball back into the edge of the 18-yard box and then chipped in. It's a good chance here for Jarvis. Jarvis can't get it down under control. He chests it well, but the ball is intercepted by Stephen Drench.
Well, yet more good play there by Danny Hall, making sure Jarvis can't get a shot off.
Good ball forward there from Stephen Drench. He finds Holsgrove on the edge of the 18-yard box. He takes a shot, parried by the goalkeeper. A rasping drive from Holsgrove, right on the edge of the 18-yard box, almost down the left-hand angle of the 18-yard box. And Mike Green was stretching to prevent that one going in.
Good effort there by Holsgrove. He tried to take a touch and then he just realised that he had so much time and space. He thought, well, why don't I have a shot? And the keepers had to make a good save there, because that really would have, added the cherry on top of the cake.
The cherry on top of the cake. Had a good analogy, Tom. Free kick now to Gloucester on this near touchline. The ball whipped in from the left-hand side again into the Guiseley penalty area. Guiseley holding a firm back line at the moment. Danny Hall helps it out here to Ben Parker. Ben Parker strives forward down that left flank. Nat Jarvis comes back to cover him. And in the end, all he can do is send it down that left flank. And it's gone all the way back to the goalkeeper, Green. Some of the goals, it's finished. Finished? Can't have finished, can it? Oxford 1, Bradford Park Avenue 1. But for some reason it's showing up on our scores checker that it's finished there. We'll check on that and see what's going on. Guiseley, meanwhile, have the ball back in their own half. Of course, that one's so important at the bottom of the table. Oxford City could be into the final relegation spots. As it is, Stadybridge, I think, are also winning this afternoon against Workington. You see 2-0. So the ball's just in the Gloucester half at the moment as we go through all these ramifications. That's another good word for the final day of the season. 6 minutes to go. And it's the Gloucester side that are coming forward once again. A good ball forward from Giglio towards the head of Ed Williams. Headed away and picked up now by Wayne Brooksby. Brooksby sends it forward. Holsgrove just on the other side of the ball. Almost wins it back. Brooksby's had a tremendous game this afternoon, chasing forward to try and close it down, but can't do so. Gloucester come forward now again with Gosling. In towards Mann. Good interception there from Danny Ellis. Up to the halfway line. Green sends it forward once again, looking for Jarvis. Over him. Danny Ellis takes a knock in the face, I think, from the head. And he's just feeling his nose. Grimaces, but gets on with it. Stephen Drench just holds on to the ball until the attacker eventually comes along to try and take it off him.
Well, yeah, such a man that Danny Ellis is, because so many players would have fallen there because he got a full whack in the face. But Ellis just stays on his feet, wipes his cheek, makes sure there's no blood and gets on with it. And he really is Mr. Guiseley, fighting for the club. And now he's just headed the ball again. Such great work by him.
Yeah, super header, wasn't it? 3 men up front there for Gloucester at the moment. They're really gunning for it, aren't they? Not going to give up on this one lightly. Matter of pride for them, I'm sure. 5 minutes to go. I keep saying this, I think every minute I've ticked down in the last two. I do apologise. Guiseley holding out at the moment. Ben Parker sending it forward. 3-1 up here at home to Gloucester City. Last we heard, Worcester City were 3-0 up against Boston United. So you'd think that margin of difference should by rights mean that Guiseley are through to the playoffs.
Well, if not, then something
with 4 minutes to go.
Happen.
And Barrow, of course, are 1-0 up against Hensford. That goal could be all important then, Tim. I think in terms of the positions, Guiseley still in 5th, I think, as it stands. But the goal difference is very close there between the two sides. Holsgrove chests it down, and now the ball forward for the Tigers as they come forward down this left-hand side, finds Ed Williams. Ed Williams cuts inside, does well. Square to Marcus Giglio. Now it's back with the captain, Coop. Coop comes forward, and we'll explain what that's all about as Gloucester finish this attack just now. But Danny Hall puts a clearance in. There's a guy that all the Gloucester fans have come dressed in fancy dress, and there's a guy in a lightsaber and Star Wars outfit who's just been chased by several kids. That's a good bit of fun going on here off the field. Guiseley have just conceded a free kick though on the field, and And it's a free kick to Gloucester just inside the Guiseley half, well, just about level with the edge of the centre circle. They take it quick. Big news from the Boston game as well in a minute. Picked up now by Ed Williams and Giglio. Back to Giglio. Giglio just turns his man and he's going to go down under the challenge of Wayne Brooksby and get a free kick. A dangerous position, this.
Yeah, it is, and guys have got to, just stay alert. Just going back to Worcester v Boston, now Boston are down to 10 men, so hopefully that surely means Guiseley are there with only 2 minutes to go. But, Guiseley now it's so important, just make sure that no more goals conceded, keep that momentum going into the playoffs.
Free kick goes in from Jones, up into the air. Nobody can get on the end of it. Acrobatic overheaded attempt from Coop, the centre half. Not surprisingly, it's gone behind for a goal kick. Just to remind you on the championship front, the title front, North Ferriby are 1-0 up at home to Brackley, but the all-important score really there is that Telford are 2-0 up against Gainsborough. That means, if we're there, if North Ferriby hold on to that win, it's North Ferriby on Wednesday night, isn't it?
Yeah, and that'll be a tough game. Guiseley have faced them twice and beat them twice, but in 2 really tough matches. I just think you look at Telford and North Ferriby. North Ferriby are a lot like Guiseley were last season, done so much, played such great football, but have missed out just at the last.
Brooksby now on the ball for Guiseley, comes forward with it, and in the end it's a tackle that comes in rather bizarrely from Giglio. Surely should have been a Guiseley throw, and the referee gives it to Gloucester. Brooksby lets him know he's not happy with that. So just confirmation coming over the tunnel. It's going to be a Wednesday night kickoff. That's quite good in a way, isn't it? Given this side has had some bruises. AJ not making the cut today with injury, and Adam Boyes going off with injury. Kevin Holsgrove needing extra time probably to recover after his hamstring troubles.
Yeah, it just gives the strike force an extra day. And hopefully it'll just mean 1 or 2 of them lads can be ready for Wednesday night.
Guys, you just have to watch this ball. As Jarvis looks to get onto the end of it, threaded through forward, goes back to the goalkeeper though as Guiseley defend. No twists and turns in the title race, and so far no twists and turns in this playoff chase. As Guiseley holding on to the 3-1 victory at the moment. Clearance from Drench, taken down by Boschel, long one over the top, looking for Holsgrove. Takes a long time before the flag goes up. Holsgrove, of course, Adi told us last Monday that if he hadn't been able to get fit, his loan spell would have had to have ended. So it's great to have him, given all of the injury niggles that we're having at the moment. Back on the field today, although at the expense of Adam Boyes with a niggle is not necessarily good news. Guys, meanwhile, just defending as Gloucester can't make any headway down the right-hand side. And thankfully, the sting out of this game has gone, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has. I think this had been so different if we were facing a side with something to play for. Gloucester came out during the first half and really went for it. But it's just been since the Guiseley took the lead, since it became 2-1, Guiseley have just wanted it a bit more. They've wanted every ball that little bit more. And for Gloucester, the first half that they put in, they can be proud of that. But the second half, it's Guiseley just wanting it a little bit more, showing a bit more quality. And, it really has been a case that if we were facing a team that maybe were fighting for relegation or fighting for the playoffs, it might have just been a different story and would have at least been a little bit more dramatic.
Long ball forward again from Gloucester. Once again, predictably, a brilliant header from Danny Ellis. Finds Potts, who comes over the halfway line. Gloucester have a full back four. Potts plays a loose ball. Rothery intercepts well. Wins the ball back with great skill. Gives it back to Potts. And Guiseley hold on to the ball in the halfway line. I'm not seeing a number up for how many extra minutes there'll be. Kevin Holsgrove loses possession. Gets a bit of a push in the back from Coop. But the referee, after a minute and a half of added time, decides enough's enough and has blown the full-time whistle. And not surprisingly, the crowd get to their feet to applaud this Guiseley side who've shown great resilience this afternoon. A goal down after a strike from Billy Jones, the Gloucester fullback, from a free kick found the back of the net, and Guiseley were rocking at that moment, but Adam Boys restored parity on 31, and a second just before the break gave the Lions the lead. And then into the second half, as Guiseley were forced back for a spell, Michael Potts came off the bench and got a cameo appearance of note, because he scored the third with a very cool and collected finish, running wide of the goalkeeper and calmly passing the ball into the back of the net. It's all done and dusted here. It's a place in the playoffs guaranteed. It's finished here. Guiseley 3, Gloucester 1.
Fantastic performance by the Lions after going behind so early on. For Guiseley, it was all about being professional today. Adam Boys with 2 really good goals. And for Guiseley, it was just all about getting there and not having to rely on what Boston were going to do. Obviously, the result for Boston has gone Guiseley's way anyway, but for Guiseley, job's done on the pitch. And, it's fantastic scenes. And now let's roll on to Wednesday.
And Wednesday, it will be North Ferriby, because by all accounts, Telford are 3-0 up in their game against Gainsborough Trinity. So Telford are going to go up as champions. North Ferriby have been pegged back to 1-1 against Brackley. Altrincham, of course, battering Histon 5-0. They are in third as it stands. But of course, if North Ferriby were to concede a late one, it could be Altrincham, couldn't it? And that wouldn't be as palatable in a funny way as North Ferriby might be.
Yeah, it's a weird one, because we've beaten North Ferriby twice, even though they are second in the league. For Altrincham, they really did teach us a bit of a lesson with a 4-1 win at their place. But, whoever we get, it'll be a tough game. There'll be 2 tough legs. They'll be against 2 good, whoever the side is, will be facing a good team. So it really is a case that we don't want to be, focusing too much until we know who we're going to be facing. But whoever we get, it will be a tough match.
So a wonderful end to the season, regular season. It will continue into the playoffs. And Sue Clapham is just going to announce the Supporters Club Player of the Season. All the players are out on the field. Let's just hang on and see who gets this and see who that is. Just before that, let's just hear what's going on. Stephen Drench, Player of the Season, if you haven't heard, his little girl in his hands. And quite rightly so, he's done some remarkable saves across the course of the season and pulled us some points, but it must have been a tough one. There must have been a lot of contenders this season, Tom.
I'm going to say there were so many contenders. I was speaking to a few fans who they'd voted for. It was really weird. Everyone gave a different name, and I actually voted for Danny Ellis, and some players voted for AJ, some voted for Drench. Really were 5 or 6 names in it, but Steve Drench, well done on him winning that award. And congratulations, well deserved.
And I'm just going to say one last thing. I think Gloucester City have made a marvellous contribution to this afternoon. Yeah, of course they got beaten, but just look over there on the far side. Gloucester City players all lining up, their fans behind them in fancy dress, who've made the long trek up north and have been absolutely marvellous this afternoon, and have been playing with the kids from the home ground and joining in with all the fun of the day, and have had a wonderful afternoon and been a real credit. So a real note for them. On the field, of course, Mark Bauer joining in with his friends, his teammates down there, with his charges rather, as a telling misslip, and enjoying the moment as Guiseley have guaranteed their place in the playoffs. And we'll be back for Wednesday night. Wednesday night it is, and it's going to be North Ferriby here, and the Lions will take on Ferriby in what promises to be a very, very tense and exciting double header against the side from Humberside. So it's going to be a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I think we're all looking forward to it though, and just got to say, when Mark Bauer took over, who'd have thought we were going to be in the playoffs, really? What a fantastic achievement it is by Bowser. And now we move on to Wednesday. Here we go again.
Yeah, here we go again. Right, we'll be back for that on Wednesday. Hope you can join us again. We've just about caught our breath back. We hope you've caught yours. See you then.